infrastructure is crumbling this evening as the NintenByte Podcast continues its unprecedented rise. In cities across the globe, fans are rioting. The Pentagon has issued a statement describing the NintenByte Podcast network as a pixel-based prophecy. Some say the rise was foretold, others say it's just a really good podcast. We're talking twisted nipples, milk, and a sock puppet who doesn't talk.
It's dangerous to go alone. Watch this.
Welcome to the NintenByte Podcast, bitch.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the greatest Nintendo podcast ever! Yeah!
Is that a Joy-Con in your pants, or are you just happy to see us?
Shut up! Now feel the power. Everyone, do you feel that?
Oh my god, I feel it!
I feel it too, GameBird. What is it?
It's the power of our podcast,
I feel it!
This is rad, NintenByte.
So rad.
Power. Now bask in their glory.
I'm NintenByte. Oh baby.
I'm ThunderStash.
I'm GameBird Classic.
NintenByte rules.
Let's rock.
Hey everyone, welcome to the NintenByte Podcast, Season 3, Episode 33. Hey, all threes. Gotta love it. I am Eric Mohr, and we have, as you can see again, we are missing Nate. I'm going to go ahead and read an update that he had sent me to pass along to you guys. An update on Nintendo Prime and his son, Aiden, Nate's 12-year-old son, has been in intensive care for over a week and was touch and go last week when we talked about it briefly on the podcast. Today, Nate is pleased to share with everyone that his son defeated diabetic ketoacidosis, his kidneys bounced back, and he's on the mend from pneumonia and brain swelling. He is likely coming home at the end of the week. This doesn't end the journey, and it will be a while before life is normal. He has a road to recovery he needs at home. If you wish to help us out financially with medical bills and family bills while Nintendo Prime slowly comes back to work, you can do so through the Venmo and PayPal link that's in the description. Thanks everyone for the support and all the thoughts and prayers. So, good update from Nate about Aiden. So again, just keep praying and hoping that they're able to actually come home this weekend. Yeah, with that said, let's go ahead and introduce everybody else. Let's start with ThunderStash.
Hey, what's up, friends? Yeah, this is crazy. This is the last podcast of the year. If you think about it, I remember early this year. You guys will remember this too. Chat, you'll remember this. Talking about how fast this year is going to go by. When we're all waiting for Switch 2, and I was like, I know the wait seems long, but it's going to go by really fast. And then once Switch 2 comes out, then it's going to go by crazy fast. And before you know it, it's going to be the end of the year. And I honestly feel like that is exactly what happened. It's kind of hard to believe that it's the 30th, tomorrow, New Year's Eve, tomorrow, Stranger Things. If you watch that, I'll be there watching that at the theater. I'm excited. Outside of that, hey, just staying busy. I'm working on my most anticipated games of 2026 video. and it's a big undertaking, right? You know, it's a solo project, right? Solo editing, solo everything. Except Michaela is making the thumbnail. She should be making it tonight during the podcast. So outside of that, though, it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's bigger than last year's. I'll just say that. So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on that and the video for the event that I went to last month, because that embargoes up January 5th, and I can't talk about it. That's it.
What event? I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Bird, what's the word, man?
Not the event you're looking for.
How we doing, everyone? Another Wednesday. Stoked to hear some good news coming Nate's way. What a blessing. I know we've all been worried about him and his family and stuff. So very happy to hear that just in time for New Year's. And yeah, it's a busy time. Like Stash said, it's time's freaking flown by. I forget when I joined the crew as a co-host, but
That's a good question.
I can't believe
right.
this year's almost over. I mean, it was pre-switch too, so it's been over half a year that I've been on the show, which is just wild to me. Another month, another game, another year, another slew of games, a more depressing backlog, if you will. And I'm sure some backlogs will get brought up at some point tonight. But the list is, and my fears of catching up are growing along with it. Happy to be here, though.
Backlogs, man. You know, they you can't get rid of them unless you get out of the game. That's the only way you get rid of a backlog. Otherwise, you know where it goes, right? You take that shit to the grave. Not to get dark, but it's the truth.
I know. I'd have to get my backlog carved into my tombstone, but I'd probably require a few tombstones.
Dude, I'd need the whole graveyard, man.
Just to reflect.
Yeah, it's sad, but true.
The worst part is like past generation gems, that like games that I want, not just one generation back. I'm talking multi-generational games that like I've always wanted to play.
Yep.
You know, story. There's a reason why it's significant or why it's such an important game to other people, or did something big for the industry. That part kills me, because like, when am I going to get back like 4 gens back and get to playing through this?
The only time you get to play those games is what you had just said. You said it kills me. The only time you get to play them is if something happens to you, right? Like I remember when I shredded my Achilles tendon, you know, and I was working in the restaurant industry, and I was in a wheelchair for 6 weeks, had to learn how to walk again. And that's when I got to play a lot of those games, right? That's like literally that. And I had to get an emergency appendectomy once. And same thing, like that's when I was able to go back and play these games that are generational backlog entries. Outside of that, I don't know when you will get to play them. Like you need some sort of life event to happen to allow you that time to play it, sadly.
Right. Crazy stuff.
Eric, you got some more to add?
Not really. No, I yeah, no, it's just been one hell of a year. So it's going to be interesting to see what 2026 has in store for all of us, and hopefully the podcast grows and we continue to have great success. So
yeah. Amen to that, man. All right, well, hey, let's jump in to the topics, and you know, as usual, guys, we have the 4 topics. We're not going to do topic roulette. We're gonna wait for Mr. P to get back for that. Mr. Prime. So the first topic is about the games this year. So this is the games we're most excited for at the beginning of 2025. we all know that every year, right? Especially every December. This one's a little different because it's been so crazy busy with game releases. But normally December really starts to slow down. You reflect on the year, and then you think about, all right, what's ahead? What's coming out in January, February? Is there anything I should pre-order? What am I looking forward to? What's my schedule going to look like next year? And we haven't really had, I don't know about you guys, but like it took me needing to make a video, right, to really take the time to look at that because I've been so busy. But every year we think about this, about, hey, what are those games coming out next year that I'm really excited for? And they don't always hit the mark. And that's kind of what we want to talk about. Like, hey, did these games deliver? Did they meet expectations? Did they exceed? Or did they fall short? And so what we'll do is I'll kick us off, and we'll just kind of go round robin about the games we played that we were most excited for, and if they met expectations or not. All right. So I'm going to go with my first game here, and I'm going to go Donkey Kong Bonanza. Okay. And obviously, man, we waited a long time for a 3D platformer starring Donkey Kong. Last one was in, of course, 1999 on Nintendo 64, expansion pack required. And it's that beautiful yellow cartridge that we all love so much. But yeah, it was a long time, 26 years. And it's no longer Rare developing it. It wasn't Retro Studios, who did, of course, DK Country Returns and Tropical Freeze. It was Nintendo taking back their IP, developing the game. And look, I played it. You guys know I played it, the Switch 2 experience. I said in my video how great this game was going to be. And I said in the video that this will be a Game of the Year candidate. I said, I don't think it will win Game of the Year, but it will be a candidate. And sure enough, it came out. We got the direct that sold a lot of people that were on the fence, which was brilliant. I think that was one of the most successful Nintendo direct campaigns we've ever seen, as far as like changing people's minds. And then it came out, and I got to tell you, after playing it at Switch 2 experience, it exceeded my expectations. Yeah, I try to be very realistic with expectations. It's important. And you don't want to set yourself up for disappointment. But at the same time, I did really enjoy this game. So, you go in with proper expectations. But after beating the game, seeing it through to the end, rolling those credits, and then knowing that there's more for me to do at some point, I didn't 100% the game. I don't have time for that. Got to play other games to review. But at the same time, I felt kind of good about not 100%ing it, because I know I'm going to want to go back and do that. And I want to revisit the game because I enjoyed it so much. So that one for me. And look, we didn't exactly know we were going to get a DK in 2025. Let's be clear on that. We speculated on that on this channel. I know I had said at GameBird, I believe you had thought we were going to get a 3D DK. It's like prior to its announcement. So we're pretty excited when that one hit. But yeah, that's one that was super hype, and it actually exceeded my expectations, thankfully. So who would like to take the next one?
I can. Let's see here. Get my games out. Yeah, I mean, another one that was big hype was Mario Kart World for me. Obviously the game coming with the Switch, you got it with the bundle. Did it meet my expectations at the time? Yeah, absolutely. I had so much fun playing through the courses, trying to get the 3 stars or whatever it is on each course through the oh god, what the hell's the battle mode? The new mode that, god damn it.
Knockout Tour.
Yeah,
Knockout
Knockout
Tour?
Tour. Went through with
Yeah.
those. Yeah. That
That's
was a
the
whole lot of
shit,
fun.
dude.
Yeah,
I
it
love
was.
it.
Yeah. Now that I've kind of done all of that, I've kind of just lost playing it. I've jumped onto other games. So I've kind of lost a little bit of tarnish with it, or a little bit of liking it. But I still think it's a fantastic game, and it was well worth, getting it in the bundle. So while you still can, I recommend going out and getting the bundle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be gone soon.
Right. Supposedly.
Yeah.
I know that.
Well, until next year. Yeah. But yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I want to echo obviously both your guys' first picks. I, as a Nintendo fan, like, no list for 2025 is going to be complete without those games. The interesting story, though, is Bonanza was an interesting one for me, because if you guys remember on the show, when we got that first trailer, I had to ask Stashman about his experience playing it, because I had concerns. I was like, is there going to be more to the game than destructible environments? Which there certainly was. There's a lot more than that in the game. But you couldn't really tell from that first showing. And once we got that official DK Direct that really focused in on the core mechanics, kind of the theme, and a little bit of more of the story and the music, my hype skyrocketed. And I truly think it's the best Switch 2 game that's released this year. The game exceeded my expectations. And for anyone who made it to the end of Bonanza knows what a treat the finale of that game is. Really, really special. I know a lot of people are getting their first Switches this holiday, so I won't spoil it. But man, the ending of that game is a real treat. And I don't know, some games you play and endings fall flat, and the journey is greater than the sum of its rewards. Not here. The ending's just fantastic. Mario Kart, another one. Super hyped for that. Mario Kart's tough because, kind of like Eric, my time with Mario Kart has kind of waned compared to release. I think this is a game that I'm gonna lose myself again in once we get some new content, which it's a given. That's just fact. Where the game's going to be growing over the course of the next 8 years. And I think a lot of people probably struggled with comparing it to Deluxe, a game that spanned across 2 generations of Nintendo consoles and had years and years worth of content added, DLC packs. And it's not a fair comparison. The game's fantastic, but the thing is, the game's not finished. This is a game that's going to grow and build. And so while I have waned off of it, my thoughts on the game are still that it's a top tier kart game that looks beautiful, has one of the best soundtracks and not just in gaming, but of the year, snubbed at the Game Awards. Beautiful, colorful, great animations, just a great time. And if there's one game on the Switch 2 right now that, if you've got a big family or you have friends over and like local play, Mario Kart World is an easy go-to. It's always a good time, especially the newest mode, Knockout Tour, which is so much fun. And then let me think, to add something on, are we allowed to do third party that's coming to Switch for the first time?
Absolutely.
Is that
Yep.
game? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Whatever game's on Switch you want to
Any game is game. It's in the game.
Perfect. It is in the game. That's remarkable. Awesome. Yeah, there's a couple other obvious go-tos, but I want to do something a little bit different because I do want to highlight the fact that a huge part of my excitement early on with Switch 2 was that guarantee of better third-party support right out of the gate in a way that we have never really seen for a Nintendo console in generations, for that matter. So I'm going to highlight one of my favorite series of all time. I've talked about it a dozen times on this podcast, Yakuza 0, guys. It's an amazing game from an amazing series. A lot of people, myself included, find 0 to be the best in the series as far as the storytelling wise goes. But not only that, they added a special director's cut for the Switch 2 that has 30 minutes of additional cutscenes and storytelling. Really, really cool. And so for me, when this got dropped, I was super hyped. I was convinced the rest of the series is going to land on Switch. And this is one where like there's a couple entries I haven't played, haven't touched, the newest ones. And I know the whole series is coming to Switch, and this is a series I want at home and on the go, without a doubt. So I am super looking forward to what's next for Yakuza on Switch 2. But that's my big first pick.
Okay. Yeah, one of my picks is going to be one that you guys just said. So I'll kind of go over that briefly. But yeah, Mario Kart World, of course. And, again, Bird, you mentioned that it's not a fair comparison, and it's not fair, and it's not, let me just say this, it's not based at all in logic. And, for better or worse, that's how my brain operates. Completely illogical. It's like, look, Mario Kart World was the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was the Mario Kart for 11 years. It was the Mario Kart in my 20s, 30s, and the beginning of my 40s. Literally, because of when it came out, it spanned all that. It's kind of crazy, but we've never seen that before. Okay. So it was already like an amazing game on Wii U. That was my most played game easily on Wii U. And then, of course, it came over to Switch as Deluxe and, had some extra stuff in there. But the biggest thing was that the Booster Course Pass DLC to double the amount of tracks for $25. I thought it was a steal. I still do. And, of course, if you have NSO expansion pack, it was free, which I do have it. And so I would have gladly paid it, though, the 25. It's an insane deal. But yeah, it's got 96 tracks. It's going to take some time to get there. It's a roadmap. It's a roadmap for a reason. And I think what Mario Kart is like, throughout the seasons and the years, you return back to it. Just like we all did with the Booster Course Pass. Like, they got a lot of people coming back to play, myself included, because I played it a ton on Wii U. Like, a lot, okay? So I needed something new as well in order to return to it. And that got me back. I love those tracks. I expect to see the same thing. Look, we've talked about this so much. Talked about it when the podcast first started, what the game plan is about the roadmap and having more DLC come out throughout the course of the game. It's a pack-in title for a reason, because Nintendo can directly advertise to you about their other IPs through, of course, DLC, getting tracks from other games like we saw in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So this is all part of the game plan. And this is actually why I didn't even review the game on my channel. It's not a complete game. I don't want to review an incomplete game. I also don't want to review it and return to it just to squeeze out, extra content, which I'm sure a lot of channels will do that. And that's fine. But I just have other games I'd rather play, and I would much rather wait for that complete edition. So for me, yes, I had a lot of hype going into Mario Kart World. It didn't exceed expectations. It also did not fall short of them. So it met my expectations. This is where, honestly, I thought we would be, and that they're going to build off of it. And you guys know that. You guys know, because that's exactly what I said probably a year and a half ago, long before we knew anything about it. So I will say one thing about the game, though, that did exceed my expectations, and this will never change, is that soundtrack. like you said, that's a game that I could keep on in the background just so I can hear music because it's so good. And because I want to make sure I heard everything. There are so many tracks that, even if you've heard it, you may not have heard it enough. It's so good. So that definitely exceeded my expectations there. But overall, I think when it's all said and done, Mario Kart World will exceed expectations. Just a matter of how many years that's going to be. And with all this talk about RAM, I'm sure you guys saw it's not one of our topics this week. We've talked enough about the RAM and all the ramifications of it. However, there are articles now coming out saying that the next PlayStation and Xbox could be delayed because of this until like 2029 or 2030. Seeing all sorts of stuff. So it is interesting. This generation might be pretty damn long. Which then you think about something like Mario Kart and how long it's going to take to get everything. So we'll see what happens. All right, Bird, what do you got? You got any more picks?
You're muted.
Can't hear you.
I know. I was testing you. Just want to make sure you guys were paying attention. I was like, do they actually listen to me when I speak? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I got a pick. Yeah, I got a bunch of picks. I will choose Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. This was probably, I mentioned that Donkey Kong Bonanza was probably my most hyped game, but now, like, upon reflecting more, I think Prime was actually my true most hyped game at the start of the year. Hoping, obviously, that it would actually release this year. Yeah. Just very, very excited about it. As far as expectations go, this is where it gets a little bit trickier. I wouldn't say that the game did not exceed my expectations, unfortunately. And I don't necessarily know that it met my expectations. I think it maybe fell just short. And part of that is, I think part of that is just a time thing. I think this game is a victim of obviously swapping development from one company to another after a couple years and a little bit of a troubled development cycle. I feel like if this game had launched within the first few years of Switch 1, the perception of it would be a lot better. And I think because we waited so long, I think there were expectations. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but for myself, to see some big innovations in the series. Now, I stand by what I said when we kind of did our overview thoughts on the game. If you guys like Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3, I think you're going to really enjoy this game. I think as far as music, visuals, and just how the game feels control-wise, it blows the first 3 games out of the water. I think it's some of the other finer details where some of the cracks start to show, some of the Soul Valley stuff. I do wish that the level design in this one, I wish was a little bit more Metroidvania, a little bit more interconnected, where you're finding these really radical secrets. But again, I think it's a victim of Soul Valley being like this kind of like center hub that branches into different areas instead of a fully interconnected, more labyrinthy world that we're used to. That being said, I absolutely love the game. Just thinking about, before we really got our true first look at this game, my expectations and kind of thoughts of what this experience might be like, I think had grew larger than what I should have expected. But still a fantastic game, and I think sometimes we hype things up in our imagination a little bit too much. But great game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, to kind of touch base on again with Bonanza, just for me, it was one of my hyped games too, for sure. And I'm about halfway through it. I believe. It's been great so far. But another game took over, and I'm kind of headstrong on finishing that one. That'll be another game in my list here after this. But the one I wanted to bring up now is actually the Switch 2 edition of Tears of the Kingdom, because that one, it was kind of that and Breath of the Wild Switch 2 editions. I'm going to kind of group them together because I was excited to see what how the Switch 2 can improve the gameplay from the Switch 1 and stuff like that. So that was I've gone back and played Tears of the Kingdom. I did the ending battle again. Fantastic. Still holds up. Looks even better. I have not gone back and played Breath of the Wild, but I'm sure it is fantastic as well. But that was the part that got me hyped, was just kind of see those were the games that I want to look at to see the difference between the Switch and the Switch 2. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm going. I'm going to lump those two together and kind of just throw that in that way.
Nice. But yeah, it's a really good pick. And yeah, I'd agree. I completely agree with you. You know, again, playing Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom at the Switch 2 experience, making videos on it, and then hearing from people in the comments telling me that I'm lying and that there's no way, like, you know, just the crazy stuff that people say online. And I was just like, just wait, you know, just wait until you play it and you see the HDR, you see how they use like the wide color gamut, obviously the frame rate and resolution. But those games, I mean, they feel like the ultimate editions of the game. They're not labeled that. They're labeled as, right, the Switch 2 edition. And again, if you have NSO expansion pack, those were both free, which they were, you know, for me. But I would have gladly paid the money for them because they make such a huge difference. So yeah, I would say to anyone who hasn't played these games, play it on Switch 2. Even if you don't have a Switch 2, but you know you're getting one, wait. And for anyone who's played it like halfway through and you've been wanting to return to it, just make sure you return on Switch 2. This is the absolute best way to play it. It's special. So the other one I have, and it's kind of funny that it seems like we all have the same games, and I promise you guys we didn't talk about this before.
No, God, no.
But yeah, it is Prime, but it makes sense because we waited 18 years for this game. So surely it's going to be on our most hyped list, right? We're going to have expectations for something we've waited this long for. And look, I reviewed the game. If you watch my review, you know how I feel about it. And I absolutely love it. And it might sound odd, but everyone's going to have their own opinion. For me, like, this exceeded expectations. I really, really love it. The tech side of it also. And we've all talked about this before. We've talked about a lot on the podcast. You know, I still play regular Nintendo games, right? I just bought the Analog 3D. Like, I've had it pre-ordered since day one. You know, I'm hyped for a Nintendo 64 console to hook up to my TV. So clearly I'm not a graphics snob. None of us are. We love art style. We all really value art style. If it's got great graphics, great. That is a bonus, but it's not a prerequisite. That's the difference here. Now, we can all appreciate beautiful graphics. And Prime is one of those games, right? Assassin's Creed Shadows on PS5. Played that when it came out, and there's definitely moments where you just look out on the vista and the mountains, you see the water reflections, the graphics, and you're just like, damn, this looks really good. And that's the same way I felt when I played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on PS5 when it came out in 2024. There's so many moments where you just stop and you look. And I don't really use like photo mode in video games. It's just, you know, I'm experiencing. I don't need to take a picture of it. I'm playing it right now. But Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I did use that. I took a few pictures because it just looks so damn good.
Nice.
Yeah, and I set it as my background wallpaper on my PS5. Just because it's just such a beautiful game. And for me, Prime definitely did that for me on Switch too. This feels like the tech demo game as far as demonstrating what the Switch 2 can do. But what is so interesting is that this is a Switch 1 game.
Yeah.
It's not even built from the ground up for Switch 2, but this is, obviously we have the tech demo ports right now, or the games that weren't built from the ground. That's, the Cyberpunk, Star Wars Outlaws, AC Shadows is looking really good on Switch 2, and they have some more refinements to do. So that's not a final product yet either. But man, it's interesting because you look at Prime and both Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. These are Switch 1 games. Breath of the Wild's a Wii U game. That's one of the best looking games right now on Switch 2.
Yeah.
As the Switch 2 edition, which obviously has me excited for more, Switch 2 editions. I've been excited for that before Nintendo even announced them because we predicted that was going to happen on the podcast like several months before. So that part exceeded it for me with Prime. And that just really sticks, man. I love that it's like Zelda. And I know there was reviews that were like, oh, it's got this antiquated game design. Because, the desert is like Ocarina of Time's Hyrule Field. I'm like, yeah, dude, that's freaking cool, man. That's cool to see a Metroid Prime. Like, I like that. And it's a Metroidvania. Like, that makes sense to me. That you would have a hub world that's like that. And again, we've talked about this a lot. And I said in my review too, this isn't a first-person shooter. This is a Metroidvania that just so happens to take place in first person. And you do shoot things, but this is not a first-person shooter. And it's clear in the game design. And so for me, this gets... It basically gets more points in my mind for using game design that is similar to Ocarina of Time, because that is probably my favorite game of all time. It's my favorite Zelda of all time. That and A Link to the Past. It's a tie. So, yeah, for me, Prime exceeded. And I know that's not the popular answer, and I don't care.
Who cares?
Popularity contest, yeah.
That's your answer. That's what it did.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's all subjective, and the thing is, like with a game like that, I feel like everyone's gonna have different things that make it better or worse for each individual player. Like I know there's things that I wanted in. That I would have liked in Prime 4, that there's a lot of people who are like, hell no. And I didn't mention when I was talking about, one of the areas where maybe it underwhelmed me a little bit is I wish Samus spoke in the game. And I know there is dialogue in the game, but for me, it's a little bit jarring when you have these characters, communicating with her and talking about like the next mission and what do we do type stuff in the silent protagonist. I much prefer if Samus spoke. I think that it's more character building, it's more world building, it's more immersive. But I also understand a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people don't want talking from Samus. So, that's something that maybe I would have given a lot of bonus points. A lot of people have been like, I hate this so much. So it's all subjective.
Yeah.
But I think at the bottom of the day, I think, I don't know if you've had a chance to play it, Eric, regardless of like my minor little gripes with the game. I think it's just a fantastic game. And I really, again, I can't stress this enough for people who are on the fence because some of the discourse surrounding it. If you like the first three games in the series, you're gonna like this game. I guarantee you're gonna like this game.
Totally agree with you on that. And I said that in my review too. That like this is Metroid Prime like through and through. It's just sensationalism. Like I am very much convinced that a lot of it is just for revenue.
Yeah.
Like the headlines are just to get you to click. It's just taking advantage. It's just human psychology on display. It's sad.
And another thing I want to mention real quick, just because I think there is an interesting discussion around this game because it's so unique. It's a unique situation. It's a unique game. It's a unique series. When Retro created the first Metroid Prime, there was a lot of backlash. It was a Metroid game that no fan of Metroid wanted, first off, but there was nothing quite like it. And it's really hard to replicate that magic. It's the same reason for a lot of people that follow-ups to, Ocarina of Time or Tears of the Kingdom didn't have quite the same magic as Breath of the Wild for them, because in a sense, you already got that. Obviously, I'm not being literal here. Tears of the Kingdom greatly expands on everything that Breath of the Wild did. But there's something about that first experience that's unlike any other, that's so nostalgic, and it's really hard to beat that. So for me, like, I'm always going to view the first Metroid Prime game as this special and unique experience that was unlike anything else at the time. And while I still like the first Metroid Prime more than 4, I think 4 is actually better than Metroid Prime 2 and 3.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a bold take.
Yeah.
I like it. Just 'cause I haven't heard anyone say that. And look, man, I love all the Prime games. I haven't thought about which one is my favorite. I just usually don't really think about that. When it comes to Zelda, I do get asked a lot over the years. And so I've kind of defined it like, hey, my favorite Zelda, Ocarina of Time for 3D, and for 2D, Link to the Past. I think I'm good with that. But, as far as like Metroid and Mario, I don't know, man. They're all so amazing. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
It comes down to like what kind of fix do you want too, right?
Yeah.
Are you in the mood for 2D, 3D? There's so many options.
Yeah, I feel like when any time I try and narrow down the list of like favorites of a series or favorites on a console, it's like maybe I have like a defined first, but like everything else always feels so like, what's my mood today? Very interchangeable. Like my 2 one day is maybe, the more I reflect on it, is actually my 4, and my 4 is actually my 6. But then the next day I'm like, actually, no, when I think about it, I forgot about this one part. So yeah, it's really difficult.
Yeah. And then like you have to weigh nostalgia as well. And like if you think about it, like for me, I'm 40. It came out the year Nintendo came out, and I've been playing since I was 3. And so like Mario, Zelda, Metroid, it's been a part of my life my entire life. I never took any breaks from gaming. I never like walked away and said I don't like this anymore. Like every year it's just intensified, really. And so you think about it, I've spent like very intimate time with all of these games. And to call one of them a favorite is hard, because I also have a really good memory. I remember like how I felt when I played these games the first time. It's kind of crazy. But when I boot up these games again, like it all comes back to me. And so it's all different, right? Because you play them in different times of your life. Technology obviously improves from when Metroid first came out, and then you played Super Metroid. Obviously being able to play it on the go with Metroid 2 on the Game Boy, and then Prime, Fusion, all the different Metroids out there, all the Marios, they all mean something, and that something is a lot. So it's hard, man. It's hard to narrow it down. This is why I don't do. That's why I don't do a video on this. I've been asked to do them. I'm like, I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want to do that, man. Stuff. All right. What we got? Eric, you got any more?
Yeah. The game that took over for me from Bonanza was Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I've been playing that pretty well straight since it came out. Having an absolute blast with it. It's fun to see the story. It's kind of lived up to my expectations because it's a Warriors game. I love Warriors games, so I still think it'd be fun to try to play it multiplayer. I haven't really had the chance to do that because, just to kind of see how that would work. But it's been an absolute blast trying to get like I said, I was trying to get all the upgrades done that I had on the map. Working on that still. Slowly progressing through the campaign. I think I'm at the end of chapter 4, maybe the beginning of chapter 5. So getting there. So yeah, it's been great. So
nice. That's a good one. Okay. I'm gonna give you one that's not on it's not on Nintendo, not yet. Okay. And this was, I was looking back at my reviews. I posted my review for this January 21st. Okay. And I said in my review that this will come to Nintendo Switch 2. And I had a lot of people in the comments, how do you know it's coming to Switch 2? We haven't even seen it yet. And of course, I just know it's coming. I just know. That's enough, man. I don't need any rumors or sources. It's coming. That's Indiana Jones. Bro, this game, I was hyped for it because I'm a big fan of Indiana Jones. I've seen all the movies in the theater.
What's your favorite Indiana movie?
It's
Sorry.
really close. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I have these narrowed down to 2. I'm sure you know which ones they are, but it's between Raiders and Last Crusade. They're just both so damn good, and the stories are great. I love them. Temple of Doom, I do enjoy. I like that it's darker. It's different. Obviously the Crystal Skull. What's there to say? I don't even want to go down that road. Now, the last one that just came out, we saw that in the theater, and there was some really cool aspects to it. I think it was definitely better than Crystal Skull. And the de-aging they did for Indy was really good. I'll give them that. Like, there were some things they
I haven't
did that
seen
I
the
really
most
liked.
recent.
Okay, yeah. I won't say anything else then, but definitely worth checking out.
Okay.
Yeah. Going into this, I would almost say this might be like the number one game as far as going in.
The number one
Excited for it. Yeah, like going in excited for it because I was excited, but I'm like, I don't know about first person. I don't know how that's going to feel. I think with Indy, you kind of expect a third person game. That's what we've had in the past. And you want to see Indiana Jones, right? You want to actually see the character. But after playing it and stepping in first person, it's like you are Indiana Jones. They did such a good job with it. And I've said it before, but the story to me is right there with Raiders and Last Crusade. That's how great it is. And I had mentioned in my review that I was going to wait to play the DLC when it comes out, when the actual game comes out on Nintendo Switch 2. That's how confident I was that it's going to come out on Switch 2, and that I'll revisit it on there and play through it again because I actually loved it so much. And then I'll play the DLC, and the DLC is the Order of the Giants, which is out. I haven't played it. Just like I said, I won't play it until it's on Switch 2, and then I'll revisit it. But that's about the Nephilim. So I'm like, dude, I'm excited to dive into that. That's something I've studied up on quite extensively for probably a couple of decades. So I want to see what they have to say about it. But yeah, for me, that game, super excited, nervous because it was in first person. And then it just absolutely exceeded, like blew it out of the water. Like, I cannot believe how great this game is, and I can't believe this story. Like, what are we doing, Hollywood? Like, this developer crushed you guys at your own game. They made a better story than your last two movies, easily, hands down. What are you doing? You should be ashamed of yourselves, Disney. Right? And Spielberg too. Y'all should be ashamed. They should adapt that into a movie. It would do better than the last two.
They won't.
And get what's his name to do Indy.
Troy?
Dude, Troy killed it, man. I don't know, like that. Obviously I talked about it at the Game Awards, but those are huge shoes to fill.
Yeah.
And if he wouldn't have, everyone would talk crap. But because he did, no one talks about it.
I feel like the next step for Disney and Indy is that they're just gonna reboot. They're gonna reboot eventually. I mean, Harrison's done. I don't think they're gonna try and recapture the Harrison, and I think they're probably gonna go for a brand new take on the character, if I had to guess. And I take that like people aren't gonna.
No, I would agree with you.
No,
I don't think the IP dies with Harrison.
Yeah.
Like you got to continue it. But yeah, it's gonna need a reboot. Hopefully they don't remake Raiders and
Oh yeah, leave it
Temple.
alone,
Like,
man.
leave those be. Just start something new. Bird, you got any more?
Yeah, I'll kind of let me see. I mean, I want to kind of echo what Eric said about Age of Imprisonment. I was super excited with that one. I like the Warriors games. I'd say that one, you know, I've played all the Zelda Warriors games. I've played most of the Warriors games on PlayStation as well. So I think that one is one that just kind of landed with my expectations. It looked like Age of Calamity, but it looked like it was going to look better, perform better, and have a more coherent story. And it had all of those things. And I loved every minute of it. It was just a great, fun time. So that one I definitely want to echo. And then I want to jump back a little bit and just reiterate, you know, third-party support. There are not only so many games that I love playing on my Switch, but more specifically genres that I particularly love playing on my Switch. And two examples of those, I know you guys are going to know the answer to this, but RPGs. The Switch to me is the perfect RPG machine. I hope we get, if not every RPG that comes out in the foreseeable future, but at least 95% of them, because you know, having these big, long experiences that maybe might entail grinding for levels or tons of side quests, it's just fun to take with you and play on the go, especially if you travel. Like, man, flying to PAX and just like grinding through some levels in an RPG was awesome. It was just awesome. So I want to shout out a couple of games that came out this year on Switch 2. One of them is another snubbed title, and that's Trails in the Sky First Chapter. It is a remake of the original Trails in the Sky. The game's amazing. It looks fantastic and runs fantastic on Switch 2. highly, highly, highly recommend this if you guys are fans of RPGs, JRPGs, and have never played the series. It is a long-running series, just like Final Fantasy or Zelda, except in Trails, everything's very interconnected, and there's a lot of throwbacks and Easter eggs to everything that came before and character interactions from past games. So it's definitely one that you want to pay attention to the story. Another one that came out just recently, Octopath Traveler 0, the brand new kind of prequel entry with the town building aspect. Guys, what better of a game than to have on your Switch or Switch 2 than an RPG with a town building aspect? So cool, so much fun, beautiful HD 2D graphics. Absolutely love it. This one is from another genre that I just wanted to also shout out. This is one that I just finished. I got it I want to say a week ago and played it with my son. Did a multiplayer with my son. We had so much fun, and it's from the beat 'em up genre, and that's Marvel Cosmic Invasion.
Hey,
the game is
I'm glad you played
amazing. Yes, and I watched your review beforehand. This is one that I was already like,
Yeah.
your review only sold it on me more. But you and I, we love beat 'em ups. Stash and I, actually, funny story, we got to play some beat 'em ups together at PAX. We did He-Man, which was really cool. Can't
Really
wait to play
good.
that. We also did Toxic Crusader and had a blast playing that at PAX as well. But I love beat 'em ups. Stash loves beat 'em ups. He highly recommended this. It's from the team that made Shredder's Revenge, which was my favorite modern beat 'em up. But I think this one is now. This game is so good. So much fun. A lot of great characters. When it comes to Marvel, I'm a big X-Men guy. I've always been an X-Men fan since the 90s cartoon got me hooked on X-Men. And I used to play all the X-Men games both on Sega and SNES and in the arcade. So getting to play as Storm and Wolverine in this one, great soundtrack, incredible pixel art. Some of the bosses are spectacles and are multi-phased, which is really cool and adds an added layer of challenge. But also there's a leveling mechanic in this where, your characters get levels and get listen, go watch Stash's review. I don't need to sell you on the game. Go watch Stash's review. The game kicks ass. But beyond that, this is just another genre that, like, I love my PlayStation 5. I like my Xbox, but this genre, if I'm gonna buy it anywhere, I'm gonna buy it on my Switch, because this is a game that I want to be able to play anywhere. This is a game that I want to be like, oh, I'm going to my buddies tonight. Hey, I'm gonna bust out Marvel Cosmic Invasion. That way we can crack open some cold ones and just shoot the shit and play some classic 90s style gaming. So love to see this land on Switch 2. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Great shout out on that. And yeah, I did a pinned comment on that video, kind of detailing what I think is going to happen with that game. But there's so much planned for Marvel in 2026.
Sure.
And you can basically see, looking at the Marvel TV and film schedule, when there's going to be DLC announced, because there's 15 characters, and you just know that there's going to be so many more at it. Like 15 feels good for the base game. And just like Mario Kart World, like the amount of tracks we have, it's good for the base game. It's fine, but you just know they're going to add more. And they have a lot of big stuff coming, right? And I purposely looked this up because I was like, I'm trying to think when the DLC is going to hit, because I know it is. And then I looked at that, and then I looked at the release cadence for DLC on Shredder's Revenge.
Right.
And looked at, okay, when did the game come out? How many months did it take for this? And how many did it for this? And then, all right, let's look at Cosmic Invasion. And then when's the next big Marvel thing? Okay, and then the next thing. And it's pretty much 1-to-1. Like you can definitely make an educated decision on when we're going to get it. It's just a matter of how much are we going to get. But with Avengers coming, right?
Right.
You'd expect to be able to pencil that one in. So I'm excited because
Yep.
I just feel like we're
Yeah,
gonna get so
totally.
much more, which will be nice.
Yep.
But yeah, those are good
I
shout outs, dude.
completely agree. Hell yeah. You got Eric or Stash? You guys got any more?
Yeah. I'll give a few shout outs to some games, right, that I played this year too, that just kind of circling back just like you did. And obviously there's a lot. There's a lot of games. The first game I reviewed this year was Metaphor ReFantasia. And that was a game that I 100%ed. I got the platinum. And I also mentioned in that review that I 100% believe this will come to Switch too. And that was on January 1st that I posted that. And you best believe that's coming because the Nintendo Switch and now the Switch 2 is, it's an RPG machine, right? Like if you love RPGs, this is your console. So shout out to that. Shout out to all the Switch 2 editions, whether it be first party or third party. That's been really fun. Just like being able to revisit these games. And again, we mentioned it in the last few weeks, but some of them don't even have patches, and just playing them is so much better. But the ones that do, like Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom, Link's Awakening, Echoes of Wisdom, New Super Mario Brothers U, Mario Odyssey, Hogwarts Legacy got that Switch 2 release, night and day difference. That's been a lot of fun, and that's only going to continue. So shout out to that. Ruffy in the Riverside. That was a really fun game. Like that's an indie shout out for me. And as a big Castlevania fan, lifelong, Chronicles of the Wolf definitely filled that cup for me for Castlevania. It felt like a mix, and I said this in my review, of like Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, and Symphony of the Night kind of mashed together in like a 16-bit style game. That was a ton of fun. Suikoden. Being able to play Suikoden 1 and 2 HD. Still playing 2, but I beat 1, reviewed that. That was a ton of fun. There's so many games. Like Final Fantasy Tactics was a blast. That game's perfect also for Switch 2. Digimon Story. Never played a Digimon game. And that was my interest in like wanting to review this game. One, it looked good. Like even when we played it, guys, at PAX, Bird, you and I played it right next to each other. And I had said to you guys, like, I was actually looking forward to playing this game. I've had no interest in my life in Digimon. However, the scope and scale of this game, like you could tell that there was more funding available, I guess, for this game, that they were going to go hard on this. And I was excited to play it. And then when we played it, I'm like, okay, this is good. I like the combat. And then I got to play it at home and review it. And just seeing how deep the systems were in that game, I was like, this is really good, man. Like, I'd like to see some of the, I don't know, the deepness of the combat system, I guess. I'd like to see Pokemon do some of that, right? Because I thought, to me, that's a real high point in that game. And I'd like to see Pokemon do some of that as well. But yeah, there's a few shout outs, Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D. That was a blast. But we shouldn't be surprised. Square Enix. Dragon Quest 3 HD was amazing. There's so many great games this year. Eric, you got any you want to give a shout out to before we move on?
Me to myself. Yeah. I got two more to kind of just touch on. One that or actually both of them, caught my attention, and kind of one actually exceeded it, which was Pokemon Legends ZA. I am not a Pokemon guy anymore. I haven't really been since first gen, a little bit in the second gen. But honestly, I played it at PAX It was fun. I've picked it up, played a little bit into it, still having fun. Then other games came along and kind of knocked it out. So, I mean, it's one of those that I'll probably end up coming back to. And then the other one was Kirby Air Riders. That was one that wasn't really on my radar, obviously, because that was kind of a surprise by Nintendo there. I didn't really have much for expectations on that one because I never played the original. But when I played it at PAX, it was fun. I will probably eventually get to purchasing it, but haven't quite yet there. But yeah, no, it was a whole lot of fun.
It's a good pick. Yeah. Look, I played Kirby Air Ride on, obviously on GameCube when it came out. I enjoyed it enough. But once we actually played the game, I think that's probably when it clicked for all of us. We're like, okay, this game's really good. It's very fast, and it's actually really deep for only having a couple of buttons.
The depth was the most unexpected thing with that game. Yeah, I expect when I first saw the trailer, I was like, it's one button and you can't go off the edge. I'm like, oh, it's like Mario Kart with training wheels with no experience with the first game. So I was like, this is a hard pass. Yeah, PAX was like surprised me. It's like the game's so fast and remarkably complex for a game that's so simple in its control design, at least. Yeah, very surprising in a good way.
Yeah, I agree. That was a great pick there. All right, you guys, you ready to move on to the next topic?
Yeah, I'm kind of out of games already. So,
okay, if you don't mind, I was gonna move to topic 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we can kind of put a lid on 2025 here, and so topic then 2 is going to be our biggest surprise games of 2025. So these aren't necessarily the best games of 2025. They're just the ones that surprised us the most, maybe caught us off guard in a good way. And I'll kick us off with the first one. And look, I was thinking about this too. Okay. With that, with how closely I've always followed video games, going back to the days of magazines, then to the dawn of the internet. I think I've told you guys I always keep like an Excel file with the release dates. I always know what's coming. I keep an Excel file because too many websites are missing games. I'll give you an example. I won't say who it is, but a website that should have all the correct dates, right? I'm looking at the 2026 dates. And I'm like, how do you not have Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate on here? How are you missing that? For Switch 2 and Xbox. You have other remasters, remakes. That's not the reason. You just missed it. How do you miss that? This is a monumental moment for Nintendo, right? To have Final Fantasy VII on a Nintendo console, and you miss it. But this is why I keep an Excel file, because I can't trust one source to do it. I have to pull from multiple sources. And so the point of bringing this up is that I know what games are coming out. However, sometimes there are games that slip through the cracks. The games I've never heard of, and neither have they. And then I somehow hear about them, or in some cases, I'll get an email from a developer and they'll tell me about a game. And I get emails from a lot of developers, and some games, I'd say most of them, I probably don't have any interest in it, but some of them I do. I read them all and I reply to all of them. And then I also know what I like, which is why if you look at my reviews, sometimes people say, it seems like you like all the games you review. Like, yeah, I'm a really good judge of character. I know what I like. I'm not trying to play crappy games. Who in their right mind is trying to play crappy games? Who wants to waste their money? Nobody, right? I'm trying to find the best of the best. That's the name of the game. We want to have fun. However, there was 4 games this year. And I'll just give you my first one that, dude, they weren't on my radar at all. I don't know if they were on anyone's. Who's to say? Who's to know? The first one is going to be Kingdoms of the Dump. Dude, like this was not on my radar. And man, when I was reading up on it, and I talked to the developer too, and this game was made by 2 janitors, full-time janitors.
That's the best part. I love that so much.
So do I. It is so cool. Like they work full-time as janitors, and they made this game over the course of like 7-8 years with their free time, and the whole game is themed around that garbage trash. But it's extremely charming, very well written. Music's great. The gameplay is the best part. But it's a JRPG. And it's in the title, Kingdoms of the Dump. You're really traveling to different dumps. It has like Super Nintendo JRPG vibes of like Final Fantasy 2, 3, Chrono Trigger. And it's like this game is just not something you see today. And it's not something you see for so many reasons, right? Probably one of the biggest ones is money, funding. People have these crazy ideas, and they may not have the money to ever have that idea come to light. And then when it comes to like the big dev studios, they would never make this because it's crazy. It's risky. They make sure things. They make games that are, long-standing IPs, another, Assassin's Creed or another fill in the blank. This is just so weird. And it's so cool that it exists here in 2025. And I also reviewed this game because it's coming to consoles in 2026. And I wanted to get the word out there because this game's amazing. So if you want to know more, you can check out my review. It's spoiler-free. But that game 100% came out of nowhere. And it's easily one of the most memorable games I've played in a very, very long time for those reasons.
Hell yeah. This is one that I cannot wait to get my hands on. I watched your review. It was a game that I saw in before its release. I forget what the event was called where they showed they did an indie JRPG direct that had like a 100, and the game was featured in there. So it was slightly on my radar, but again, you never know. You see all these cool small projects. I kind of forgot about it. And then you, ThunderStash, messaged me and you're like, dude, I'm playing this game that's so up your alley that you'd love so much. You have to play it. And it's one like I watch your review, just watching the footage, the beautiful pixel art and like the combat system and just the amount of like the game is dripping with charm and personality. I can't wait to get my hands on this one. It sounds awesome. And especially hearing your thoughts on it and how it was one of the most surprising experiences that you had this year, that hypes me up even more for this one. Very, very cool.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Eric, what do you got?
No, GameBird, if you got something else,
No.
go for it.
Go for it. Go.
I mean, one of them I did say at the end of last one was definitely Kirby Air Riders. I mean, that was a definite blind shot that I don't think anybody had on their bingo card coming into anything. So it fits for both topics. It's great, kind of beat my expectations when I played it at PAX, and then surprised the hell out of us, I think, when it was announced. So yeah, that's kind of that one for right now. I'm racking my brain for other ones right.
Crossovers are, in my opinion, totally count, because you could have your favorite experience or one of your most memorable could have also surprised you the most. So I think that's valid to have doubles. Man, there's this year that I had a good feeling about both of them, but they're both fantastic, and I think they exceeded my expectations, whether it was just within the gameplay and design or art style and combat. And those two of those right off the bat is Ruffy in the Riverside, which feels like almost like a rare style throwback, has graphics that look like N64 in the modern age, which is really cool. A little bit of N64, a little bit of GameCube in there. Really, really cool. And it has a gameplay loop that's unlike anything I've ever played in a game before, personally. The copy paste and swap mechanic in a 3D platformer is just wild. And it led to so much fun experimentation and puzzle solving. And it's really, I love to see what that team could do next with those characters. And when I played through Ruffy, I was like, man, I hope we get a sequel, because this was really cool. And I'd like to see their return. Another one, and I definitely have doubles too. I'm going to try and not do doubles to start, but Shinobi Art of Vengeance.
Yeah, great
What
one.
a game. Oh my God, what a game. Killer combat, super fast and agile, with great like ninjutsu and magic and combos. And then the art style is breathtaking. The game's stunning.
Yeah,
So
great pick, dude. I was looking at Shinobi as well. I'm like, I hope it gets mentioned.
Yeah.
It's deserve it. It's very good. Good pick there.
Yep.
All right. I'll give you my next one then. And so this one I bought at launch on Switch too, along with a handful of other games. And that's Fast Fusion. Okay. It surprised me because, one, I'm like, I can't believe this game is only $15. And I still can't. And they added a free update, which added more tracks, more graphic options. But this game is absolutely stunning. Gameplay is excellent. It's a racing game. It feels like, part F-Zero, part Hydro Thunder. If you guys remember Hydro Thunder, it was
Yep.
great time. It's fast. It's pretty. It's challenging. And you fuse vehicles together. And you bring on their stats for better or for worse, however you want to do it. And you got to spend credits in the game to do it. And you earn credits by completing cups. Just like you would in Mario Kart or F-Zero. But to me, that was such a cool aspect, to fuse vehicles together and like try to find the most OP one. And of course, this game had just came out. Like, there's no guides on this. Like, if you want to know the most OP combinations in Mario Kart 8, you just go online and look it up. And someone's going to have it fully broken down for you. They probably have an Excel file if you want one. Right? But when a game just comes out, especially with me reviewing games and like reviewing them early, there's no guide. Like, you're the guide. There's no one can help answer any questions. If there's something you don't know or you get stuck somewhere, like, tough luck, you got to figure it out. And I like that. I appreciate that. And that was something I really actually liked about Fast Fusion, is that, well, no one's played this yet. So I have to just kind of write out all these different combinations and see which one makes sense. And I probably overthought it. That's just how my brain works. And man, I just had so much fun with this game. I can't recommend it enough either. I reviewed it on my channel if you want to check that out. But yeah, for $15, man, that game's a steal. And legit surprised me because it was one of the most enjoyable launch games, not just on Switch too, but just I think ever. Like as a surprise game, I'm like, damn, dude, like this stands with the full price $70 games. So it felt good being able to play a game like that for $15.
Good pick.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, you got one?
Yeah, I'm actually going to throw out two here, kind of flip side of the coin. One being that we finally actually got Hollow Knight Silksong.
It was real.
And, yeah, right. I mean, I knew it was real. I played it back in 2019, but it's one of those that it's, we finally got it. It was a surprise that we actually, it came out. We're good. The flip side of the coin, though, is Mina the Hollow are getting delayed right at the end of almost releasing, which really blows. And that was also surprising to just kind of see that. And I was really kind of hoping for that game to come out.
You know what? I was looking back because I'm working on my most anticipated games of 2026, right? And I was looking back at 2025, and I was just kind of like looking briefly at the comments. So I had Hollow Knight Silksong in there for most anticipated games of 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I had Metroid Prime 4 in there as well. I was very confident that both were going to be released, and I was just looking back at some of the absolutely unhinged comments about Silksong, and that I am absolutely delusional for thinking this game is going to come out. So, always funny. But yeah, that was a big one, man. We got two very long delayed games off of our list with Metroid and Silksong in 2025. Yep. That was nice.
Yeah, wild stuff. I've got another one. This is another indie game before I jumped over to some of the bigger stuff. But this was actually, if we don't count Expedition 33, which I think is definitely I think it was so deserving of Game of the Year, deserving of Best Indie, and what they created with that game was absolutely remarkable. That team deserves all the flowers. But if hypothetically you were to eliminate Expedition 33 from the equation this year, there's a very close second favorite indie game of mine that really, really surprised me. It blended a genre that I absolutely love with a genre that I generally don't care that much for. And that game is called Absalom. It is a roguelite beat 'em up. And the game is unbelievable. You guys know I love beat 'em ups. I'm not the biggest fan of roguelites. Now, that's not to say there aren't roguelites that I don't love, because there are. I love Hades 1. I love Hades 2. And there's a couple others that I've had a lot of fun with, like Darkest Dungeon. I really enjoy Children of Morta. I enjoyed the Splatoon DLC, but I really enjoy the roguelites that have more permanent rewards. There's that carrot on the stick. And Absalom, not only is the art style unbelievable, beautifully hand drawn, the soundtrack is epic. It's like Dark Souls level, like choirs and symphonic soundtrack, narrated storyline. That's really fun. Multiple classes. It plays like, think a beat 'em up, but you've got like your tank, your like mage, DPS, and your rogue type character. It has branching paths, which is really cool. There's a set. So unlike games like Hades, where it's completely RNG level layout, there are set paths on this, and crossroads where you decide, do I take the northern route? Do I take the southern route? And then you end up on a completely different path with a different boss at the end. But maybe you take that southern route and you notice there's a gate that you can't open because you need a key, but you don't even get the key till you've completed the second world. And then you go back to world 1 and you work your way through that first world to get to that log. It's really, really cool. The bosses are a ton of fun. And a lot of the stuff, the way the art is designed, there are, we talk about games where you kind of stop and pause and just take in the surroundings. I swear to God, there are moments in this game that look like they were pulled straight out of a comic book, out of a comic panel. It is really, really cool. They don't do the comic booky thing. It just is, the art's just stunning like that. But Absalom blew me away. Unbelievable little indie gem. And if you guys like roguelites, if you guys like beat 'em ups, check this one out, please. It way exceeded my expectations. And not only that, it's a blast to play with friends, both locally and online. Ton of fun.
Did you play it on Switch too?
Switch 2. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's sitting there on my wish list.
Yep.
The thing is, if I buy it right now, I don't have time to play it right now.
Yep.
But I know I'm
For
going to
sure.
play
No,
it
I
and
get
review
that.
it. Yeah.
Dude, Stash, you'll love it. It's really, really cool. You get a little bit of Hades in there, a little bit of like Marvel Cosmic Invasion and Shredder's Revenge in there, and then some really cool permanent rewards, whether it's skill tree or certain perks that you can permanently. So you do feel that kind of rags to riches feeling, which for me makes a roguelite enjoyable. When they erase everything and you go like back to zero every time, I don't know. It's hard. It doesn't have the staying power. I like to feel that character growth as well.
Me too. Yeah. I think all of the roguelites I've played have that. Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate has that, where you get permanent upgrades, and I love that.
Yep.
Obviously Hades does. Yeah, that's what I want. Like I want that in my roguelite games. That to me does make it enjoyable, just like you said.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to give one here that here's another one that just totally caught me off guard. And I reviewed the game, but let me just do this. Let me read you the email I got from this developer. And just remember, I live in Arizona. I'm an Arizona native. I will be going tomorrow. We have tickets to go see Stranger Things finale in the theater.
Nice.
I've been watching it since the day it came out on Netflix. So, been a big fan for a long time. And so, with that in mind, I'll read you this email that I got. And this should probably make it more impactful. So, first off, the email subject line says, "Try out the 80s inspired action RPG now." And I'm like, okay, let's see what this is, right? And it says, "Hi, Steve. This is so-and-so from Dangan Entertainment. And just letting you know that review codes for our much anticipated Kingdom of Night are finally here. Perfect timing if you're getting excited for Stranger Things Season 5. I was like, okay. So I keep reading. And it says Kingdom of Night is an 80s themed isometric action RPG where you play as John, a teenager fighting to save the town of Miami, Arizona, which is a real town here, from demon lords who have plunged the community into its final terrifying night. Choose your class, customize your abilities through flexible skill trees, gather powerful gear, and battle nightmarish creatures as you infiltrate massive lairs across a fully explorable, interconnected town. Open-ended quest, colorful NPCs, and serial-style side stories blend coming-of-age drama, cosmic horror, and a touch of true love into a single high-stakes adventure to stop the ultimate evil before the sun rises." I'm like, what? This game sounds freaking awesome. How did I not know about this? Like, it's a game that takes place in Arizona. It's an RPG, which that is definitely my favorite genre. And it's 80s themed. It's Stranger Things as well. Like, how did I not know about this? And I'm like, how did this person even get my contact information? I am so glad he reached out to me.
Right.
You're all, who are you?
Yeah. dude, I read this to Michaela. I'm like, babe, you got to hear this. Like, listen to this game. And I said, now, keep in mind, I said I knew nothing about this game. Like, had they not emailed me, I would this game would have never hit my radar. And I even told her, like, I like disappointed myself for not knowing about this game. But dude, once I started playing it, because I didn't want to get too hyped, because I read it, I'm like, okay, this sounds amazing. And I start playing it, and I kid you not, I think Michaela came out at like, I don't know, 3 or 4 something in the morning, and I was still playing it. And I think I went like something crazy, like 10, 12, 14 hours straight playing the game. Just went absolute ham. And like totally screwed up the following day. As far as my sleep schedule was just all jacked up. Because I went back to sleep, but then I only slept for a few hours and then just wasn't super productive the next day. You guys know how that is at our age. But man, it felt worth it because the game is so good. Also, this is a game that is going to be coming to consoles, which again, this is a big reason why I wanted to review it. So this was on PC, but I'm basically getting a head start on reviews by playing it on PC, knowing that it's coming to console and it's going to run exactly the same. Because these aren't demanding games like this and Kingdoms of the Dump, Super Nintendo style RPG. It's going to run the same.
Yeah.
We have no performance worries here. So yeah, that is a game that completely caught me off guard in the best way possible.
Yeah, I'm watching the trailers on Steam. It looks pretty friggin' awesome. Dude,
I couldn't believe too just how many character classes there are. And how deep the skill tree goes, and then the magic system, and then how many items there are. Like, this is an extremely deep game. Like, there's a lot of depth and strategy that can go into this if you want it. Like, you don't have to do that, but if you want it, it's there kind of thing. And I was like, man, like I don't know how this is. I don't know how much it was. How much does it say how much it is on Steam? Is it like $20?
It is $20.
Absolute steal. Absolute steal. Yeah. Again, it's interesting. All these games that came out this year that were inexpensive. They were just absolute bangers.
Will you post because I will forget. Will you post the name in the private chat?
I'll give you the one better.
Dude, there's just there's so many games. I know this was one that I was interested in. I remember you reviewed it, but there's just so many. It's so hard to keep. I don't have a list. I don't got an Excel sheet like the Stash Man.
Yeah.
And he's smart. I'm an idiot because if you don't, you're gonna miss out on stuff. That's just the way it works. Like there's way too many releases now. The number of times I've been like, oh my god, what the hell was that game that I was so excited for? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
especially
I don't know what
I'd
do without it. Without that Excel list, I don't know what I would do. I mean, I'd just be operating off of memory, and that's a tall order for sure with the amount of games we get today.
God, I'm just watching the trailers, and it looks like there's a almost a Zool-esque monster.
Yeah, there is.
Yep. This looks like my kind of game, straight up. And
yeah,
I love that. I'm like all about
too.
the 80s stuff. So wild.
It's so good, dude. And there's also a lot of like Arizona. I wouldn't call it like not myths, folklore.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's a lot of Arizona history about like crazy stuff that's happened here that has always been super interesting to me. What do you call it? The Lost Dutchman's gold mine and the stories behind that over at the Superstition Mountains, and the amount of people that go missing there every year. The place being booby trapped. Like literally you could walk across you could be hiking the mountain, you'll fall through it. Like there's areas that are like hollowed out, and you'll just literally fall like into the inner mountain. And the stories that I've heard now, again, there's stories, but some of them have news stories behind them, and there are missing reports, missing people reports that match up with it, and there are bodies that have never been found. And I don't want to get too deep, but man, I'll tell you what, the fact that they intertwine that into the game, it's like, this is so cool. Like anyone who's a gamer that lives here in Arizona, and like you've lived here a long time, I feel like you owe it to yourself to play this game. You feel like you're supporting the state. Like this should help our local economy, kind of thing.
Yeah. I'll throw in one more just that kind of ends my list here. I haven't played this game, but the concept looked absolutely amazing, and I've watched a couple people play it online with YouTube, and that's Ball X Pit, whatever you want to call it.
What game?
Yeah.
Ball X Pit or
Oh,
Ball
Ball
Pit,
Pit.
whatever you want to call it. I don't know if they pronounce the X or not, but
You don't.
no. Okay, so it's Ball Pit. Okay.
Yeah. I only saw it because Devolver Digital, I was talking to them about it because that's a game I'm playing right now
Ah, got
for
it.
review. And I asked them, like, between you and me, do you pronounce the X? Like,
Mhm.
how would you guys say it? They're like, oh, Ball Pit. I'm like, okay.
Okay. I mean,
It
fair enough. It
I
rolls
call
off
Ball Pit.
a whole lot better than Ball X Pit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but that concept, and like I said, I've watched, like Game Grumps play it and things like that, and a couple other YouTubers play it, and it seems like a freaking awesome game. So,
it is.
yeah.
It is. It can go deep. Balls deep.
Ah.
That's what they say.
Bird, you got any more?
Yeah, I'm gonna double dip on one that I mentioned in the previous segment. Metroid Prime 4. This game was one of the most surprising games to me. Now, that might sound funny considering I say it slightly was under my expectations. That's just the overall, the sum of all the parts. However, there were two core elements to this game that exceeded my expectations and really blew me away. One of them, Stash, really touched on in our first segment, and that's the visuals. I'm not a graphics guy. I like great graphics. It's a plus, but it's not make or break. This game, just knowing that this is a Switch 1 game is like, wow. It's a technical marvel. And I definitely think there's two things at play here. One, it's just the graphics are insane, all things considered. And two, the art style. Because it isn't a photorealistic game, but man, some of those skyboxes in this are just like, holy shit, they cooked on those skyboxes.
Yeah.
The game is just gorgeous, and knowing that it's from the past gen, a gen that really started to show its age in its last couple years, and you see a game like Prime, and you just wonder what sort of sorcery was used to make it happen. So that really blew me away. And then I've been waiting to try out a very unique feature on the Switch 2, and I saved it for this title because I didn't have anything in my library that I don't know, required or would really show off this feature in a way that Metroid Prime 4 would, and that's mouse mode. And it's something that you see in the preview events, you hear about it here from Stash, but it's one of those things that you really got to experience for yourself to understand and connect the dots fully on how impressive it actually is, in that seamless transition of putting down the Joy-Con and then pulling it back up just to swap in and out is really remarkable. And sitting down on my couch and doing a mouse on my leg or the coffee table was just something else. And so that really, those two key parts in Metroid were really both wow moments for me, in a way that I was hyped for they didn't just meet those expectations, but they really exceeded them.
That's a good one. Yeah, good call on that. I like that. I got one more game that surprised me, and again, you'll notice all of these games are games that outside of Fast Fusion was 100% on my radar, but Kingdoms of the Dump was not. Kingdom of Night was not, and the other game that was not on my radar was By Sweet Carol. Just I didn't know about it. Yeah, I didn't know about it. And actually, one of my subscribers, shout out to Jamie Camp, he was talking to me about what games he's looking forward to, right? And he had actually sent me a list. He emailed it to me, and I was looking it over, and I knew all the games. I was like, yeah, these are all great picks. But then I saw By Sweet Carol. I'm like, what is this? And of course, Googled it, and I'm like, oh my God, this game is gorgeous. When is this coming out? And so I looked into it, saw that the release date was coming up like pretty soon here. I think it was maybe 2-3 months out. I'm like, okay, I need to reach out to the developer, because not only is this art style insane, but this looks like a game I would really enjoy. And, people should know about this game because this is cool. Like, I think it pushes the medium forward from an art style perspective. I mean, I said it in my review, but it reminds me of like 80s Disney animation. Something that ages obviously like a fine wine, but it's in a video game. Like, you actually are controlling what looks like 80s Disney animation. I was like, this is crazy. I haven't seen anything like this before. And when you've been doing this, you're like gaming your whole life. The amount of times you can say like, this isn't something I've ever seen before, is not many. So when it does happen, it's a cool moment. And so, yeah, I had to reach out to the developer, sent emails to developer, publisher, DMs, like anything I could to try and get their attention. And finally I did. And, super nice people. Once I finally got a hold of them, I was so happy to be able to play this game early and review it. And yeah, that was a game that, again, it just was not on my radar. Didn't even know about it. One of my subscribers, Jamie, mentioned it. I'm like, all right. And that's how it all happened. It's an amazing game. I have a review up. Obviously, they're all spoiler free, but it's on Switch. It's on PlayStation. It's on PC. It's on Xbox. It's on everything. Super cool game. That's my last one, though, for the surprise picks. I don't know if you guys have any more. Bird, you got any more?
I've got one more.
Okay.
And this is a game. Yes, I've got one more. This is a game that hasn't released, but its announcement was a moment that surprised me and shocked me and really gave me confidence going into 2026 that it's going to be a different story with Switch 2 than we've had in the past. And that was the announcement of a day and date release of Resident Evil Requiem on Switch 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Getting that reveal this year for me definitely was a major surprise and exceeded. I for sure thought it was coming, because I think we all agreed, like right from the get-go with Switch 2, we all started predicting that this console in this gen was going to have great third-party support. The part that was shocking was the day and date.
Mm-hmm.
I think early on, within the first 12 months of a console, especially a Nintendo one, I was expecting like, maybe like 4 to 6 months after launch, we'll get a port, and then after the first 12 months of Switch 2 is when things will start landing day and date. But no, guys, Capcom came out the gate swinging like there's no tomorrow. And we're getting Resident I mixed up Silent Hill and Resident Evil. Resident Evil 9 Requiem on Switch 2 in just a couple months now? Insane. Very, very exciting stuff. And we've seen screens and we've seen little clips, and the game looks remarkable. So very, very surprising and a very hype moment that I wasn't expecting this year.
You know what? I'll give one more too. This will be my last one, promise. And I'm only mentioning this because Cody WB just mentioned it in my chat. And this is a game that I'm like 75% through. And I'm disappointed that it's taking me this long. There's no reason for it outside of being super busy, right? That's it. It's not like I'm stuck or anything. I'm just super busy. And that's Pipistrella and the Cursed Yo-Yo. And like I've kind of purposely not talked about this game because I am still reviewing it. But it's my fault it's taking this long. So I do want to give that game a shout out and give it its flowers because it is an awesome game. It's an indie title. And yeah, you know, go watch the trailer or something. I don't want to give any details about it, but awesome game.
Hell yeah.
All right. You guys ready to move on then to
yeah.
All right, so that puts a lid then, everyone, on 2025. And now we have two topics here, the last two for 2026. All right. And so the first one is going to be looking ahead, right? The games that we're most excited about here in 2026. Yeah, obviously, there's a lot of hype here. There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of stuff going on. And you know, I can tell you firsthand, just from the video I'm working on, that, you know, just like any year, we don't know what all is coming out this year. Like, as soon as I publish my video for most anticipated games of 2026, I am sure that within hours or maybe within a couple of days, there's already going to be games that are announced.
Yeah, it'll be obsolete almost immediately.
Yeah. And you know, I try to future proof it because there's a ton of games in there, and a lot of these are TBA 2026 games. So it's great from that standpoint. But yeah, there's going to be new games that are announced, and you know, someone's going to comment and be like, "Oh, you missed this game." It's like, yeah, well, why don't you look at the date that this was published, okay? And then do the math, my friend. But
That's
you
too
know,
hard.
it's too much to ask, I know. So you just deal with it. But there's so many games coming out already. Is kind of my point, is that like this video I'm making is massive, and we don't even know the half of it. We really don't. As far as release dates go, we know like what's coming out up till about April-ish. And then there's a few rogue release dates that we know. Like there's a release date for a game in September. That's a big game. There's a release date obviously for GTA. But as far as like later on into the year, we have a few in May that are dated, one in September, one in November. The rest, you know, it's like TBA 2026. So it's really interesting because we just don't know what's on tap. But that's what makes this topic fun, is that there are a lot of games coming out. We don't know exactly when. Some we do. Obviously, if it's early on. And so I'll kick us off here with the first game. And this first game we can all relate to because we've all played it. Okay. And we know when it's coming out. It's coming out very soon here, March 19th. And that is Crimson Desert.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got to sit down with Pearl Abyss. We had a scheduled, what would you call it? It wasn't a meeting, but it was a I don't know. I scheduled it with them a personal time for us to actually sit down as a group.
We had like it was like a private demo experience.
Yeah.
Is how I'd describe it.
That is
right?
perfect. Yep.
Yeah, because we had a person designated to stand by us and answer questions, while the other people were just wandering around answering, everybody else's questions
Yeah.
and things like that.
And you know what? Like, there's a reason why they needed a person is because they drop you in the middle of the game.
Mhm.
So there's no explanation, right? You're not going through really tutorials so much in the game because you're dropped in the middle of the game.
Yep.
And so, yeah, there's going to be questions that come up on how to do things.
Mhm.
This was the first demo experience where having someone over my shoulder felt like a good thing.
Same here.
First time.
Well said. Yeah. I completely agree. Yeah. First
Yeah.
time as well. Like, I was really happy there's somebody there. Because he was really good at anticipating your needs, anticipating your
Mhm.
questions. Just like when you
Yeah.
you have a server or bartender that is able to anticipate what you need. It's always nice. But in this
Yep.
case, it's for a video game. So I was like, cool, man. This guy's
Yeah. It was
very helpful.
they were very kind. That was a really good
Mhm.
experience with a
Refreshing.
dev team. Very, very kind, and like Stash said, were doing a really good job of anticipating kind of your questions. And I liked how, guys, there's no denying this game has a very complex combat system. There's a lot of
Everything.
inputs. It was, yeah, everything, not just combat. There are a lot of very complex mechanics, even for things that have generally been pretty simple actions in other games. And I could sense the guy sensing some confusion from me on, and then he walks over and he just starts explaining the reasoning for why the game feels the way it feels. And everything kind of clicked when he did that. If you guys remember, he talked about how they were taking inspiration from games like Street Fighter and Tekken,
Yep.
and learning from fighting games with developing some of the mechanics. And it really clicked after that. I was like, oh, but I could tell he saw like me kind of just like pondering some of the controls, but it really did. Just getting that extra kind of context really made a difference for me. Sorry to derail, Stash. That was an
No,
interesting moment.
I'm glad you said that because it needed to be said. And that is something that just made this game really unique. Was once we were able to kind of tackle the combat from the aspect of, all right, like how would we control in Street Fighter? Like we all know the moves in Street Fighter. We all know the special moves. Everyone does. It's ingrained in our brain. They're the same ones in Mortal Kombat. And so once you start playing the game like that, then man, the combat is deep for this kind of game. And the whole game is deep though. Like one thing that we talked about, I specifically mentioned this to you guys, is that this is one of those games that you need to like play it and beat it. Like
Mhm.
don't play it and then like return to it weeks later or a month later. Like play it because the controls are there's a lot to it. Let's just say that. I'm not gonna say that they're hard. It's just there's a lot to it. And once you get it down, you should probably play the game and run until you hit the finish line. Because it's gonna be hard to pick it back up again and learn it.
Oh, absolute great point right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great point. This is not one that I'd step away from for a month and then come back.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
I
no.
can't wait till we get the review codes for it. And I'm hoping that they arrive in a time slot that really allows me to do that as well.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of games coming out around that time. I mean, obviously I have my Excel sheet. I know what's coming out. What else is the only other game that's coming out that day is Mouse PI for Hire.
Oh yeah.
That game looks awesome.
Great art.
Obviously, I don't know how deep it's going to be. We don't know how deep the systems are going to be in that. It's a first person game, but we'll see. And then there's a handful of the week before definitely two games that you guys are going to be interested in. Probably are. Yeah. Hopefully, I'm just hoping we have a runaway for it because this game's really cool. It's special. If you have PlayStation 5, Xbox, PC, and again, remember we talked to the team after we were interviewed as well, and we did inquire about Switch 2 because remember this game was on GameStop's website. There was a listing for it. I personally saw the listing. I didn't see a screenshot of it. I went to GameStop's website and saw the listing myself. So, again, let me just say this though, too, guys. If they can get this on Switch 2, like knowing how impressive it was visually, like that would be the next impossible port, right? Because it's a very demanding game. That'd be quite impressive. All right, so that is my first game though, Crimson Desert. That I'm hyped
one other
for.
thing in there, of why you should probably play it. Pretty well straight. The story is pretty in depth too. So to take a month off and then remember what the hell happened, that's probably not going to be a good thing either.
Yeah, definitely not. Good point. All right, Bird, what do you got?
Yes. I'm actually going to do. Sorry.
You want me to jump in, Bird?
Huge bite. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Obviously one of the games that I had said in the last one, Hollower. That one I'm looking forward to. I haven't played the demo yet. That is one of the things on my list. I know you guys have. You'd had great things to say. You had some great things to say when you came out of the meeting with them. But it looks like an amazing game. Looks like I should, we'll have a lot of fun with it. So that's one of the ones that I'm looking forward to.
Well, I'll just since you mentioned this, I'll just say what I have to say about it too. And Bird, I'm sure you're looking forward to this one as well. So I will just say that, look, I don't think it's going to be too much longer before we get Mina. I did play the demo all the way through, and then again we met with Celia B. Nate and I did at PAX. We had a hour meeting with Celia and I think the director. So Celia is the director of marketing and then the actual game director. And so it sucks because like we know things that we can't talk about. Yeah. And when you guys find out about it, I just know everyone's going to be excited about it. But I hate sitting on stuff that we can't say. Like it, you know how it is. It's just so annoying. I want to talk about it, but I'm so excited for it. Can't wait. So that was on my list too. So glad you mentioned it, Bird.
Yeah. I'll echo what both of you said on Mina. That was going to be on my list, but just for the sake of time, I think we all agree on this one. It looks great. If you played the demo, it plays great, and it's definitely very, very high up there. I'm actually gonna pick two, probably each time it's my turn, because there are so many games that I'm excited for in 2026 that I could probably spend 3, 4, maybe even 5 hours on this segment. I play a lot of games. I play a lot of stuff. So to start it off, I'm one game I'm choosing is a guarantee for Switch 2. The other has not been announced for Switch 2, but it's one that I'm confident will come at some point, and maybe it will come in 2026. We'll have to wait and see. The first one, the obvious pick, it's currently, we don't have many Nintendo games announced yet, but we have one that I feel is the creme de la creme so far of what's been announced. And guys, that's Fire Emblem Fates Weave. It's the next generation of Fire Emblem games. I love RPGs. I love tactics games. I love story and character driven games where I could get immersed in the worlds and the lore. And Fire Emblem is a game that nails this. Three Houses, I think, is top 5 Switch game easily. Probably even an easy top 3 for a lot of people. It's that good. And you really got 3 campaigns in one game, which is remarkable. So my hype level is insanely high for Fire Emblem, and I think the game not only looks beautiful, most beautiful entry in the series, but I really like the theme of this one with kind of like the gladiator arena. Looks like there's going to be a lot of spectacle, and a unique take that we haven't seen on the series before. So Fire Emblem super high up there. The next one, this one might be a little bit of wishful thinking, but maybe not, because Capcom has shown a tremendous amount of support. And now people are even talking about the possibility of getting Monster Hunter Wilds on the console. So this game that I'm going to announce would be a dream come true, because I've talked about it on the show before. Listen, when I have a favorite series, I'm very passionate about it. And when it's one that we haven't seen in a long, long time, and we finally get a new entry, it feels like a dream come true. And this is a game that was revealed at last year's Game Awards. I was there. I was shaking in my seat. I couldn't believe what I just saw. Ladies and gentlemen, the brand new Onimusha Way of the Sword. Guys, Capcom's been killing it with their Nintendo support. We've gotten the classic Onimusha 1 and 2 remaster on Switch eShop. I mean, we still need to get 3, and we need to get the 4th game, Dawn of Dreams. 3 is my personal favorite. 3 and 1 are my 2 favorites, but I am so amped for this game. Onimusha is a series that means not as much to me as Zelda, but it is up there. It is way up there. It was my first PS2 game. I became enamored with the series. It was my favorite series on PS2. So this is just a very special title for me. It's just like when we got a reveal for a new Okami. Really, really big deal. Hopefully this comes to Switch too. I've got a good feeling about it, given Capcom's like commitment to bringing things over. And guys, if there's any truth with like those leaks or data mines about Monster Hunter Wilds, I don't see why not, because that game, Monster Hunter, doesn't run smoothly on anything. So if that game's coming, I feel like Onimusha might be locked and loaded at some point.
I agree with you on that. Great picks. So I'm gonna go with, here's one that it shouldn't come as a surprise, that I'm super excited for. That's Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Look, man, you guys know I'm always talking about Dragon Quest and how I want to see it become as popular here in the West as it is there in Japan. And like for me, Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy are just like the top tier RPGs. And Dragon Quest VII is a game that I really enjoyed back in the day, back when it was called Dragon Warrior. It's Dragon Warrior 7. It was always called Dragon Quest in Japan. In the US, it was Dragon Warrior. And that was the last one, if I recall, that was called Dragon Warrior. So I think the thing that obviously really got me excited, and I talked about it on the podcast, was the art style. Because they took all the promotional, all the key art from Dragon Quest 7. What I mean by that is like the advertisements you'd see in magazines of like the characters. And it looked so cool back then. And they were able to take that today and then actually use that as the character model. So it looks like what they always intended it to look like, which to me is just, again, absolutely stunning. That art style just gets me, and I just love Dragon Quest. And this game is known for how long it is. Very long game. And I'm excited for that. Yeah, I put in a crazy amount of hours on Dragon Quest 11S. And I wouldn't take any of that back. So for me, I'm like, all right, I'm ready. I'm ready for the next one. And at the same time, we got to keep in mind as well, it's Dragon Quest 40th anniversary, 2026, which doesn't get talked about. I mean, I'm going to be talking about it in my video for the most anticipated games, but it's not getting talked about. And it just seems like the perfect opportunity, especially with Dragon Quest 7 coming out so early. I mean, again, we're getting. I'll just throw out another game on my list, but Final Fantasy 7 Remake on Switch 2. Look, I've already beat the game. I've spent several hours with it, 100 and probably 50 on that one. But I will be playing it again on Switch 2. That's coming out January 22nd. And then Dragon Quest 7 is coming out on the 5th of February. Like, that is close together. 2 huge titles from Square Enix. But with Dragon Quest coming out so early, and this being a remake, reimagining, remake, it leaves a lot of time on the calendar to do some other stuff for that 40th anniversary. I just feel like it's absolute prime time for Dragon Quest 12 to finally show its face. So,
Yeah,
hyped for that.
and
All right,
hopefully an 11S Switch 2 version.
That'd be very nice because you don't have to do much. All you got to do is touch on the resolution and frame rate.
Yeah.
That's it. Because it's nearly a perfect RPG. All right, what you got, Bird?
All right, I've got 2 more, and this is extremely exciting for me. The 2 games, they're both from the same series. We're eating good next year on Switch 2, especially if you're an RPG fan, because not only are we getting what's been confirmed is the follow-up to Trails in the Sky first chapter, Trails in the Sky second chapter next year, but we're also getting the newest entry in the series, which is The Legend of Heroes, Trails Beyond the Horizon.
Soon.
And that one lands next month, I believe. Let me see.
15th.
January? Yeah.
15th, man.
Holy hell.
16
January.
days. I know. Yeah. January's cooking.
So again, guys, like, this is a series. If you love Final Fantasy, if you love Dragon Quest, if you like just great RPG series, do not sleep on this one. The only difference you're going to find here between Trails and Final Fantasy or Trails and Dragon Quest is that this series, it's made up of multiple trilogies that all share the same world, and characters do interconnect and plot threads do interweave through the different trilogies and stuff. So definitely check out this series. We have both of those coming. We are eating good. We're already off to a great start. Well, we've got Final Fantasy stashes talking about. We got Dragon Quest. We've got 2 Trails games. We've just started our 2026 hype, but it's looking good.
Yeah,
Mr. Eric.
Yeah. Man, this one I'm kind of surprised you guys haven't said yet. Considering it's an exclusive from FromSoft.
It's on the list.
I figured it was on your list, but man, I just rewatched the trailer.
Sorry, Eric. I
go
froze. Could you repeat what you said? I didn't hear the game.
Duskbloods.
Duskbloods. Hell yes.
Yeah. No, you're good. Yeah, I just rewatched the trailer and I am really interested to see what this story is about, because it looks like it could be one hell of a story. And I'm all here for it. That's kind of what I like. I kind of like stories in games and stuff like that. And
Me too.
and there are times where I just like, going in and, just turning off my brain and playing, but man, stories are awesome. And I have to agree with GameBird with the Fire Emblem, looks amazing. The art style nailed it. And then with Dragon Quest, I love that art style too. Man, that was just freaking. When we saw the trailer, it was just like, holy crap, this actually looks pretty damn good. In the character models that they based them on. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So just kind of the touch based on some of the other ones that you guys have thrown out there.
All right. I'll give you guys I have a lot, but I'm not going to go overboard because I do have a video these will be appearing in. So
Right.
I'm going to give you ones that shouldn't be too, they're not deep cuts, essentially. These are games you should know about. All right. So The Adventures of Elliot. My God.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. So look, I rarely play demos. Okay. Just, it is what it is. Like when the game comes out, I'm ready to go. I rarely watch movie trailers, right? I'll know if I like it. Otherwise I want to enjoy it when it comes out. I don't need anything else. Occasionally, I say rarely I'll play a demo. This one I played. It was because the game looked so interesting. It was just like Mina. Mina was a game I had just been excited about for so long. I'm like, all right, I got to play the demo. This is a demo that I didn't want to end. I legit did not want it to end. I'm like, dude, I cannot wait for this game. But my biggest takeaway, and I talk about this in my video, I did a preview on it, is that it feels like The Legend of Zelda on NES, like reborn as The Adventures of Elliot in modern times. It's got the pedigree. It's Team Asano and Square Enix. You got a great team behind it. From what I played, man, I was just like, dude, this game is so good. Like, immediately it shot up my list for me for games I can't wait to play. Yeah, I told Michaela about it too. Like exactly what I'm telling you guys. I told her, I'm like, man, like I just want to play this game right now. Like I can't wait for it to actually come out. And I don't know when it's coming out. All we know is 2026. I haven't heard anything yet from Square. And even when I do, I won't be able to say anything. I'm so excited for it. And it has time travel in it too, which I am always going to be interested in that. I love sci-fi. I love time travel. It's in the title. It's the Millennium Tales. And there's time travel in the game. You travel throughout time. So super excited for that. And then I'll give you let's go Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. There's so many to choose from here, but man, that's coming out. We have the release date for it. I believe it's coming out Memorial Day weekend. Was it May 29th? Yeah, May 29th. And it's interesting because it's a Lego game. Lego games are fun. I think we saw an evolution of the Lego formula with the Skywalker saga.
Sure.
Which was great to see, right? And when we got that, I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe this is like the new foundation for Lego games going forward. Because that to me, that really freshened things up and it felt anew again. And then we get this Lego Batman, and I'm like, this looks like it's evolving again though on that formula. Because I thought the Lego Skywalker would be like the next gen kind of formula, foundation, engine for Lego for maybe a while. And then Lego Batman comes along and I'm like, it looks like they did it again.
Yeah.
They're building on that already, and it looks so good. And the fact that it has the Arkham style combat, which we all love. We love the Arkham games. I think the Arkham games have a special place in gamers' hearts, right? From the very first game, and then of course Arkham City, Arkham Knight, Arkham Origins. So many people love these games, and you always got to keep in mind that for so many years we didn't get good games that had major license behind them.
Yeah.
And then Batman came out, and if I recall, City got Game of the Year, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think for a lot of us, one of the biggest takeaways from those games was the combat system. And now you're using that in the Lego game too. It's like, whoa, that's pretty awesome. I'm just like, this is going to be a lot of fun. And everyone seems really excited about it. So I'm happy for Lego. And who's doing this? It's obviously Warner Brothers, but it's Telltale Games. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has me excited again for Lego games.
Oh yeah.
Like, hey, what are you gonna do next, right? What else can you do with this expanded, formula you have? Are you gonna revisit anything? Any of the IPs you own, like Lord of the Rings, right? Hobbit. They have so many IP. What else can we do here? Because now I want to see some of these other games come back.
Yeah. First off, kind of like on a side note, it's interesting that you mentioned like the license games aspect of it, because I was, sometimes I think about because I'm such a nerd. Sometimes I think about retro game, not sometimes, all the times I think about retro games and gaming experiences I had growing up, and I always think about like ways to like add to my collection, games I miss, games pickups that I could keep an eye out for, whether it's Sega stuff or Nintendo stuff that means something to me. And I was thinking about how much times have changed, because licensed games were like everywhere. Growing up, it was such a big thing. There were literally licensed games everywhere, and now it's very like, I feel like it's kind of starting to make a comeback again, but it's very much few and far between compared to the 90s or even early 2000s, where it's like there was so much, like every big movie had a game, every big superhero movie or fantasy movie had games based on it, not just one, multiple games based on it.
Yep.
Yeah, wow. But anyways, I have so many more, and I don't have an anticipated list, so I'm just gonna rapid fire a bunch and be really brief.
GameBird, can I jump in real quick, because I'm gonna have to step away here. I'm gonna throw it real quick, and then I'm gonna step away. I'll listen on my phone just to hear what you're saying. One of them that I'm looking, kind of hoping, fingers crossed, that they finally get right is Mario Tennis Fever. Hopefully
on
they
my
can
list too.
finally get a Nintendo Mario sports game done correctly again. That's what I'm hoping for. If not, I'm not holding my breath on it, but it's something that I'm hoping they get right. And then the last one that I have is Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. That the gameplay looks like it could be a lot of fun. It's definitely an interesting concept. I know, woohoo, Yoshi game, baby game, quote unquote. Who cares? I think it looks like it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
good picks.
I just wanted to jump in before I had to step away real quick. But
let's talk about those picks, GameBird, because look, I'm excited for both of them. I had tennis as well on my list, and like these are two games that are in my video that I'm excited for, and kind of for like reasons Eric mentioned. Like with tennis, obviously it looks like there's gonna be a lot more depth with all the rackets and how they have different stats, and then the characters have stats too. So that obviously leads to a lot of strategic combinations. But the adventure mode, as they're dubbing it, and even like I said, working on this video, going back and watching the trailer, the way they formatted the trailer, the adventure mode showed up like as the finale kind of part of the trailer, like the part that you should be most excited for. And to me, that says something like, hey, we're Camelot. You guys loved us for doing obviously the story mode before. We're back. We're doing it again. We're doing it right. And this is kind of our way of telling you that this is our focus. We get it. We heard you. We know you want this. Here you go. Here's a look at it. that was the vibe I got.
Sure.
And you know, obviously it's coming out soon. Like I think that comes out on the 12th. So Dragon Quest comes out the 5th, yeah. And then Mario Tennis the 12th. It's pretty rapid. And then the Yoshi game that Eric mentioned as well.
Yeah.
Again, I was looking at the trailer again. And I am definitely intrigued. And obviously you guys know I've talked about it. Yoshi's Island is my best Yoshi. That's the best Yoshi game in my opinion. I don't want it to stay the best game. Obviously. Why would I?
If you love games, you never will feel that way about anything. You're always going to want the next thing to be the best.
Yeah. And this looks different. Obviously, we talked about it before. Yoshi games seem like they're the test bed for art styles. They all have different, unique art styles, all of them. This one, same thing. So, and for me, I've loved the art style on all the games, actually. But the gameplay looks interesting. I really hope it can do what I want it to do. Which I don't know specifically what that is. But I want it to beat out Yoshi's Island.
Hell yeah. I love that.
What do you got?
Yeah. I'll touch on those two really quick. I am cautiously optimistic about the new Mario Tennis. I think it presented better than the last two entries and presented better than the last Mario Soccer. I really hope this one kicks ass. It looked like a lot of fun. Like you said, the adventure mode is a huge draw. I feel like the Mario sports games used to be fantastic. And I feel like the recent entries have had a drop in quality or have felt less inspired, than the way they used to feel. So I really hope this is a return to form and that we get a Mario sports game that kicks ass again. Would be really exciting, but cautiously optimistic on that one. As far as Yoshi goes, listen, I was floored by the art style. The game's stunning, period. It's just gorgeous with like all that penciling and incredible artistic direction. I definitely expect this game. We haven't seen much for next year, all things considered, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this one in best art direction, which is wild to see a Yoshi game land in that. The game is that beautiful. As far as my hype on this one, I'm curious. I would say I'm Yoshi curious, but I've only loved one Yoshi game, and that's going back to the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yoshi's Island. It's literally the only one that I've ever loved. I've skipped out on Yoshi's recent adventures, but it's just because I know they're not titles for me. I understand the charm. I love the arts, some of the art style they've done for it. Like Woolly World is a beautiful and unique looking world. But yeah, they're just, I don't know. We need something with a little bit more punch, I guess. But as far as the remainder of the year, I'm gonna rush through a bunch because I don't have an anticipated list, and there's just so much stuff that I'm excited for.
Yeah.
Even like sticking in January, there's an indie game that I've wanted to try out for a while, and I've been wanting to play it on console. It's getting a Switch 2 edition. It's called Core Keeper. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Oh, Core Keeper. Yeah, I have heard of it. I thought you were going to say a different game.
Well, I'm running through a bunch. Dispatch is another one. This is a game that I'm very curious to check out. Seems like a very unique experience. It's got the superhero stuff going on.
Did you see it got dated?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wild.
Soon.
I'm looking at it right here. So those two are also, January stacked for me, with Legend of Heroes, Final Fantasy VII, and Dynasty Warriors Origins. Fantastic Dynasty Warriors game. And then we got Mario Tennis Fever, we already talked about in February. But guys, I'm the Yakuza guy here on the podcast.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, we got a remake of the first and second game as Yakuza Kiwami and Kiwami 2. We just got port of 3 back in the PS4 days. Now we're getting a full remake in the modern engine of Yakuza 3 as Yakuza Kiwami 3, but it also has additional story and new content called Dark Ties. Really excited for that. Very, very good stuff. East 10 Nordics.
Yep.
The East games, more RPG goodness. The East games are so much fun. Let me scroll through. There's others on here. Here's kind of a not really a deep cut,
Hey.
but maybe one that.
Let me interject 1 second. I know you said E's X Proud Nordics. Did you know 3 days earlier, E's memoir, Revelations and Calcutta comes out?
I didn't.
And it's a Switch 1
No, I
exclusive. I'm like, why are you releasing 2 huge E's games within 3 days of each other? But I mean, whatever, I'm here for it. But yeah, kind of crazy,
Yeah,
right?
that's wild. Wild. I love it. Here's one that's might be a little bit of an odd one, but this was my favorite entry in the series, and this was a series that I used to love back in the PS2 days. In March, guys, we're getting a remake of my favorite Fatal Frame game, Fatal Frame 2.
Yeah.
Really neat game. The combat centers around using a camera. I'm curious if there's going to be some sort of a mouse mode in this one, because I feel like there could be some fun way to use the camera with the mouse mode. I could see that working nicely. But yeah, man, what a shame. I would have loved to have this remade on the Wii U. Some missed potential using the gamepad as a camera and snapping shots of the ghosts.
Perfect
Would
for
have
it.
been really cool. Mouse PI, that's another one that you mentioned. Mostly just the art style. Again, like you said, Stash, I don't know how much depth there is to the game, but visually a stunner for sure. And then let me see, what else do we have? Oh boy, Pragmata. Very interested to see what that game is filled with. Let's see what else. There's so many more. Obviously, Dustbloods. I feel like I'm leaving something big out. Oh, here's one I've talked about earlier in the year when we were speculating around what Switch 2 was going to be in those Switch 2 directs, and it's kind of gone radio silent. I hope that doesn't mean development hell. I know this went from being an exclusive to multi-platform, so maybe that has something to do with the delays. This is a very awesome looking RPG, in my opinion, from an amazing team, Level 5 Studios. It's Deca Police. It's like a cyberpunk cell shaded JRPG where you play a cop in the future and your turn-based combat against criminals, and you're like making arrests as like your finishers and stuff like that. It's wild looking. And Level 5, this is, this company made the Ni no Kuni games. They made the Dark Cloud games. They made Rogue Galaxy, a really cool and underrated RPG on PS2. So that's one that I'm really, really, really excited for. There's just so many. There's so many and so many indies. Yeah, I'll leave it there. I'm looking at a fat list of stuff that's already been announced.
Yeah.
This isn't even including like, I'm curious about 007. We're getting a first 007 game in a while. Is that going to be any good? It looks pretty rad.
Yeah, it looks really good. I did a deep dive on that as well, and after seeing some more, I'm like, this game's going to be a banger. And of course, it got delayed. It's coming out on the 27th, and then you got Batman on the 29th. Like,
wild. Batman is definitely one. How could I forget? I don't know if this was confirmed as a 2026 title, but in the event it was, we just talked about it last episode. Project M from Bloober Team.
Oh yeah. They're cooking,
man. Yeah, 2026, guys. Think of all the stuff that all of us collectively just named that we're excited for. Games that have so much potential to be good, great, or masterpieces. And then think about the fact that we're not even in the new year yet. And as far as announcements, these companies, whether it's Sony, Nintendo, or Xbox, they've barely scratched the surface. We haven't even gotten the goods yet, because you don't get the goods the year before. You get the goods the year of, especially with Nintendo.
I feel like we know maybe 30 35% of what's coming out,
Sure.
which is crazy because like I have enough on my list to obviously last me for the next couple of years as far as like what's coming out. Like, but there's so much unannounced stuff.
And then
Um,
I think there's even room to alter that percentage with the fact that like we're getting so many incredible indie games that are like popping up out of nowhere now too. Like when you factor that part in and how good of a platform switches to experience the indie scene, yeah, I think that leaves room for that scale to even slide even further.
it does. Yeah. Eric, what else you got? Anything
I got
else?
nothing. That was the last two that I threw out before.
All right. We mentioned Resident Evil collectively. We're getting 7 through 9, and again, that's coming out soon here. Roughly 2 months. And then I'm gonna say Ace Combat 8. That looks so sick.
It does look really good.
Yeah. Whatever they're doing with the story mode, obviously it looks like the scope has increased dramatically there. I'm excited for that. I don't know if it'll come to Switch too. Obviously, it's not announced for that yet. The Eternal Life of Goldman. I've had this pre-ordered since September 2024, which is when it went up for pre-order. And of course, I'm keeping tabs on this game. I have been the whole time. And it looks awesome. It looks like a modern day DuckTales.
Yeah.
But deeper. And so like how could I not love that? So I'm very excited for that. We don't know when it's coming though. Monster Hunter Stories 3 though.
Oh my gosh, how did I forget that one?
Again, scope. This is another one where like you can tell the scope has increased. And then the development team at Capcom had made a comment about how they want the Stories games to be on par with or even greater than the main games. And I think when we all saw the trailer, we could tell like, okay, the scope's really increased in this, right?
Yeah, they leveled up.
Yeah. And then that comment came after the fact. So he didn't say it before. We all thought that. And then after the fact, that comment came out from the development team. And it's like, okay, we were thinking it. That's what you're actually doing. This makes sense. Like, this is really great to see. And so I'm super excited for that game. That's in March. There's so many, and I can't go through this list, but one other one you got to keep on your radar. Bird, I know it's on yours. Replaced.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about anniversaries.
Yeah.
It's a big year for that, for a lot of stuff, but we'll leave that to another podcast, right? But
Yeah.
there's so much.
I want to mention one more game that I can't believe. I may have frozen it, so I apologize if one of you guys said it and I didn't catch it. None of us mentioned Splatoon Raiders. I am very intrigued to see what this game is.
I know you are, yeah.
I can't believe I forgot to mention it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is, Splatoon has I got my daughter Splatoon 3 for Christmas. I had to. First off, she loves Splatoon, and they had it for $30 during Christmas time. GameStop had a great sale on it. So her and I over Christmas week played a ton of Splatoon together. We had a blast. And I was like, oh man, like I'm so excited to see what this spinoff is. Splatoon is really, really picked up this nice fan base. There's still tons of people. It's so easy to get in matches still. And I'm just really excited to see them expand upon the lore and the setting and the characters and what other kind of gameplay loops they could come up with these characters and this world. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just so many games. Again, I have a massive list for my video, and we only know so many that are coming out. Like, we barely know Nintendo's
Mhm.
schedule for this year. We barely know it, right? Like, we know Fire Emblems 2026, Splatoon Raiders, the Dust Bloods, Mario Tennis, Copia,
And Yoshi.
That's it, right? That's all we know.
That's it. Pretty sure that's it.
Like actual dates or
Just for
That they're coming 2026.
Yeah.
Or dated.
Well, I know Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch 2 edition. It's coming
Yep.
January 15th. Final Fantasy 7 remake integrate.
That's Square though.
I'm just going through the ones that are listed on Nintendo's
Yeah.
of what's coming within the next little bit here. Dragon Quest 7 reimagined, Mario Tennis Fevers 12th of February, Yakuza 3 and Dark Ties is the 12th of February as well. Resident Evil Requiem is the 27th of February. Pokopia is the 5th of March. Monster Hunter 3 is the 13th of March. 007 First Light is the 27th of March.
Wrong.
Tamagotchi.
Still.
What? Yeah.
They just need to update it. Nobody's updated it. All these websites I go to too, they still have it listed as that. It's May now.
Oh, it's May now? Nintendo's even got it as March.
That's what I'm saying. This is why I keep my own list.
Yeah, right. Tomodachi Life is autumn 2026. Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition is autumn 2026. Yoshi's autumn. Yep.
They changed it from spring to autumn?
That's what it's saying on the website.
Really?
Interesting.
That went undetected because that has always been spring. That was spring as of like a few days ago when I was on the website. They must have just changed this. What's the
Wow.
Right there. I don't know if this is the US or if this is what one is. It says AU here, so I don't know if that necessarily means Australia or if it means but
hold on, when is autumn in Australia?
That could be part of what. So it could be spring.
Autumn in Australia is spring for us.
Okay. I'm
like, I gotta update my video.
Yeah. No. So I'm reading off the Australian one. Okay, apparently.
Okay, good. Because I was like, really? That's
spring.
not good.
Yoshi's
trying
spring.
to pad up the calendar like that.
Yoshi spring. So anyone that had said autumn is spring for the US. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave is 2026. Dusk Bloods, Orbitals.
Oh my gosh, Orbitals. That's got to be high up there. This is a brand new. Do you guys catch that art style? How wild did this game look? Wow.
Yep, and indie, of course. And we'll have obviously the DLC.
I'm excited for indie because I skipped out on it on Xbox because it was at a time when not even at a time. I just don't touch my Xbox very much. I'll be honest. I'm subscribed to Game Pass when they raised the price to $30 a month.
I hear you on that. I won't be renewing. One other game I forgot to mention too. This GameBird, this is a game you'll like as well, but it's not coming to Switch 2, not yet. At least. Is Code Vein 2.
Yeah.
I know you love your Souls games.
I do.
That is an exciting one. That's one to keep an eye on, and it's Bandai Namco, so I could see it coming to Switch too. I certainly could, for a lot of reasons. But look, there's just so many we could talk about. Like those games you named, Eric. Like maybe half, right, are Nintendo. So it's like, what else does Nintendo have?
Right.
That's what's exciting is that we have that. We have all the NSO stuff too. Like what games are we going to get on GameCube? We got Virtual Boy coming. That'll be fun. It's just there's anniversaries coming. It's a lot.
There is a very high likelihood that one of two things is going to happen next year. A, we'll be seeing a new Mario and playing a new Zelda, by new Zelda, I mean that includes remake.
Yep.
Or B, we'll be playing a new Mario and seeing a new Zelda. I think we're very, very strong likelihood that one of those two scenarios is going to happen in 2026.
Yeah, I agree with you
This is
completely.
nuts.
Yep.
It's gonna be fun. That's what's exciting though
right.
about a new year.
Yep.
Is that everything's on the table.
Right.
Anything can happen, and it probably will. All right. Well, do you want to jump into super chats?
Do you want to go into
Should
our
we do? Let's do gaming resolutions real quick.
Oh my god, how did I almost forget about
Yeah.
that? Okay.
Let's do some gaming resolutions. We don't have to make it too long. Could have just some fun.
Yeah.
I got one. This was my resolution last year. And I hit it. And so I think I have to do it again this year. Like this is a growth resolution that obviously it involves gaming as well. So my resolution last year was to review more games than the year before. And while we were doing the podcast, I went, to my channel and counted out how many reviews I had. And yeah, I included previews as well because they're just as much work.
Sure.
And I did more. I did a lot more than I thought. I'm surprised. And at the same time, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to beat that, but I have to try. Like that's how we got to try, right? So I did 102 reviews.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to beat that. But yeah, it was a lot. And so that is my goal. Obviously is to do more than that. And you guys know that means that I have to hit the ground running and not stop. Like I got to sprint the whole year. So yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't want to think about it. That's probably my biggest resolution is to review more games, guys.
That's review almost every 3.5 days, Stash.
That's insane. I don't
That is
know.
insane.
I mean, I've worked crazy hours this year. I really have. It's been nuts. I feel like I've been running since we left for the Switch 2 experience. And like it's been nonstop since. And you guys know how busy we were at PAX.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys know how busy I was after that because I pumped out like 20 videos, and then the same thing goes for the Switch 2 experience. When I got back from that, I like didn't get out of my seat. It felt like for like 7 days because it was just non-stop. So I hope we get more of that though too. Like we're gonna be wiser going into PAX for 2026. And I think we did a really good job. But now we have one more year. We have a year of experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're going to be able to touch more games in 2026. So that's going to be a lot of fun too.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Oh, yeah. Eric, you got any, or Stash, did you have any additional resolutions you wanted to add in there?
It's the normal stuff. Like it's not a resolution, but it's just the normal stuff is to just get better. Like every day at whatever it is we do in life. That's an everyday goal though, is like get better, be more efficient, improve my reviews, just improve anything I can. And that's really it. And I kind of have to. I have to get better and more efficient if I'm going to exceed 102 reviews. So that's it.
Oh yeah. Eric, what about yourself? Any gaming related resolutions for 2026 or podcast? I think it makes sense to include the channels and stuff with that.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, just be able to finish more games. It's been a little while since I've been able to, you know, feel the satisfaction of completing a game. So, it's one of those that I just want to be able to finish up, you know, a handful of games, which, I've got in my backlog, which is going to be probably hard to do considering how many new games are coming out. But that's kind of where I'm at. I just really want to actually complete some games because I'm sitting about partway through 3 to 5 games right now. And it's really kind of annoying.
Right.
Yeah. I don't like that either. I don't like it when I'm juggling multiple like games that are story driven as well. Then you have to learn the controls on each game again. It's not fun, especially if they're on different consoles too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you guys. If I step away from a story driven game, generally RPGs I'm speaking of, for too long, and I come back, if I don't know everything that's going on in the story, like if there's even remotely a few items that oh, who's this character again? I start over from the beginning. Like I just won't pick up where I left off. Even if I'm like 30 hours in, I'm like, well, I have to start over because it's not going to feel the same. Like story beats won't hit me the same as if I recall everything. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever just started over because you were away
Yes.
too long?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I sure have.
Yeah.
And I never regretted it either.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I've done that with series that I've watched, with books I've read. It's like, wait, where the heck am I in this again? What happened? Screw it. I'm just gonna start from the beginning.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, my gaming resolutions, they're nothing too crazy. Obviously, every year the backlog's always going to be in the resolution, tackling backlog items. Like I said at the start of the show, there's games from generations past that just never made their way onto my lap that I'd love to play. I hate the thought of missing out on classics. And I know it's impossible. Like you can't play everything, period. And part of making those choices is making sacrifices. I make sacrifices every year. What am I going to play? What am I going to miss out on? Because I just don't have the bandwidth. I just don't have the time. But I don't know. I get in moods sometimes where like I kind of want to take a break from new releases and go back and dive into the past and have an experience that I missed out on. And I've discovered treasures that way. There were games that I never played, like Wild Arms. That's one I missed out on that I played. I want to say in the PS4 gen and loved it. I'd love to play. I've only played the first one. I'd love to play more in that series. Or another one that I missed in the PS1 era was Vagrant Story. You know what I mean? Yeah. Really cool game. This goes for Super Nintendo, GameCube. There's just stuff everywhere. So I definitely want to dive into my backlog. And guys, my backlog includes modern stuff. Like there's stuff of the last like few years that has just been piling and piling, especially with how big games are getting nowadays, where like you just so many releases are 100+ hour experiences. So backlog is a big one for me, as well as diving deeper into the past and playing some of those gems that I missed out on. I want to get a little bit better about finishing games right now, because I feel like this year in particular, I've struggled with a little bit of video game ADHD, in that it's not so much that like I just can't stay focused on a game, but it's with my limited time, and I have to have experienced something to have an opinion that I'm passionate about. So if I'm going to talk about something, whether it's with friends, whether it's on the show, like I have to play it. Like I have to play it. And then I get the FOMO too, like the fear of missing out. If I don't get to this now, I know I'm almost done with this one, but if I don't get to this one now, I'm probably never going to play this one. Whereas if I come back to this, I've only got, maybe 2 hours left before I'm dead. So a little bit of the video game ADD I want to cut back on and really just stick to my guns, finish what I'm playing, then move on, even if that means missing out on the hot game at the moment. So that's one. And then lastly, I guess the big one would be content wise. I want to get locked in. I also want to review more games. I've only done a few reviews, but I've had so much fun doing the few that I've done. And I have a couple more that are going to be coming out very, very soon. And I really want to grow my portfolio of reviews. I'm really enjoying reviewing indie games, but definitely will make exceptions for certain titles. There's so many games I would love to review. If I could get an in with Grasshopper and Suda 5-1 and get Romeo's a Dead Man early and review that would be thrilling because I love his games. And I feel like they're games that need a little bit more press,
Did you see when that's coming out?
No, it's soon, right? Is it February or?
So I was going to
It's
mention this
soon.
to you earlier. Romeo is a Dead Man, the 11th of February. Mario Tennis Fever, the 12th. Yakuza Kiwami
God.
3 plus Dark Ties, the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's already starting again.
Luck, Birdman.
where all these big games are choosing like the same cluster, and it's like, why are we already doing this again? Like, that was the hardest part this year, was trying to juggle that and then like hope that one of these games I get early,
Yeah.
which in some cases I did, right? But like, what was it? Octopath Traveler, Metroid Prime 4. I got Octopath early, thankfully. But it was that, Metroid, and something else. It's like so many games were picking that day, and there was several times this year that happened. I'm like, why are we doing this? Can we not do this next year? We're already doing it.
Right. But yeah, reviews, I'd like to get more under my belt. I want to get more consistent content, which I think I've been doing a better job lately, which is awesome and definitely very motivating. And more of a personal one, not really necessarily related to video games, but it can be, is one of my favorite things about making videos, especially when I get to do something a little bit more creative, like the intro for the podcast or the skits I've done in the past or the skits that I'm currently working on, is growing as a editor and a content creator, and creatively learning new edits and stuff is very, very rewarding. And I think about even doing something like how I did the vlog for PAX for us. It was very time consuming. And I've never made a vlog, so I had to think about it differently than a skit, because it wasn't about like, oh, how do I make this quirky and really funny and stuff, and it was more about like, how do I make this an experience that lets the viewer feel like they're hanging out with us at the event. And so I want to grow in that way too. That way, next year, I'd like it to be an annual thing where I just do a yearly vlog, and there's kind of like a history of NintenByte at PAX. I think would be so fun.
That would be.
I don't know.
That
So
video was
just-
very fun to watch.
You nailed it,
yeah.
dude.
Thanks, man. So yeah, just growing creatively, challenging myself with the edits and stuff, and meeting new people in the space, being being on this podcast and getting to meet so many cool guests over the last however long I've been on the podcast, like 8 months, maybe 8-9 months, has been super rewarding. And then the people that I've met through you guys, whether it's certain developers at PAX and some of the meetings, getting to do the closed Nintendo demo session and stuff like that. That's really cool stuff that, honestly, if you asked me a year ago, I never thought I'd be doing, at least anytime soon. That like the trajectory just changed of opportunity. and maybe opportunity is a strong word because I only have just under 3,000 subs, but I really have grown in other ways too this year that I hope to. Hell, let's double the subscriber count next year. Let's hit 6,000, 7,000 next year. So
Mm.
I don't see why not, because like you have a really
Mhm.
you have a crystal clear game plan of what you want to do. Obviously you want to review more games and grow that, and we've talked about it. I'm confident you're going to do that, and I think that's going to help your channel grow a lot. But you raised a lot of good points too. Like some of the stuff that's happened this year is like it's happened a lot sooner, I guess, than I thought. Like going to the Switch 2 experience was awesome, and then all of us like going to PAX and all the developers we got to meet, and the things we got to do, like with Nintendo behind closed doors. I was shocked. I mean, when I told you guys about it, you guys know I was legitimately shocked.
Mhm.
And yeah, a lot of things happened this year that I didn't expect at all, like to happen. I really didn't. You guys know that. Like I said and I meant it when we were getting accused of being on Nintendo's payroll. And I said, I was like, I don't even think they know who I am. And I really meant that. And then to find out later that they do. And then even when we went to PAX, hearing that there's people at Nintendo that watch the podcast and that really like it, I'm like, I did not expect that. Like there were things that happened this year, like you said, that they are a big deal.
Yeah.
And I'm just moving at like a million miles a second. I'm not thinking of that. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because that was a huge W this year.
This year has been wild. And from my perspective, if 2026 is only like slightly marginally better than 2025 on the NintenByte side and our channel side and then I don't know, just like this side of things, it's going to be an insane year, because I'm like, there's just so many amazing things that happen this year, so it really just needs to be marginally better to just be stellar. And I think it's going to be more than marginally better. I think next year is going to kick ass for many different reasons. But
yeah, I know one thing for the full podcast in and of itself. I think we're between 8 to 10,000 views / listens across all of the, ways you can consume the podcast here. I'd like to see that jump to like 15. So if you guys like the podcast, please share it out, get the word out there. It'd be great to see the podcast grow and stuff like that. That'd be just fantastic.
Absolutely.
That's a great goal. Yeah.
I think these are all good goals. They're realistic. I think we can all hit these. I don't know how I'm going to do more reviews, but I'm going to say I think I can.
Yeah, great.
We're going to need to go to
every other day.
Stash is going to be on an IV, just like liquid, like a feeding tube, and an IV, just like just playing.
Yeah, he's gonna need gamer subs IV'd right into him.
Yeah. That would be really helpful.
Right.
Honestly.
No, Stash, you need to invent a chip of some sort that allows you to play games in your dreams, so that way you can just keep going.
Someone said that in chat earlier. I'm like, that's that would really elevate everything, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What I really need is and I know this is crazy with so many big releases coming. I would really like to have a device that can wipe a game from my memory, so I can go back and experience it for the first time again. You ever think about that? Do you ever have those like movies or games that you're like, oh man, I wish I could just erase this from my memory? And Like you almost get
Sort of,
jealous when you hear someone's playing it for the first time. You're like,
Well, it's
"Oh,
like
God,
you
I wish I could."
with Back to the Future. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like when I hear that, I'm like, oh my God. Like I don't get jealous. Like I'm legitimately happy for you. And
Sure.
I wouldn't trade all the time that I've had with it, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know if I'd do it, but I would consider it
Yeah.
probably with some things.
I don't think I'd mess with that, but on paper, it sounds cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
All right.
Super chat time.
Yeah, let's do it. Super chats.
Let me clear off the ticker here, and then I I think I got all the. There were some landmine super chats dropped. I think I got them all cleared, so I just got to make sure that I don't accidentally show one. So, let's go ahead and get into it. Hey, NintenByte from Kraken Jax. Hey, NintenByte crew, what's everybody's game of the year? For me, it's sure Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time. Have a happy new year. Game of the year.
Thank you, NintenByte or
Yeah, thank
Kraken
you.
Jack's girl. There. Happy New Year to you. Oh, what game? Yeah, if I was going with the Nintendo game, I'd say DK Bonanza.
Yep. Yeah, Nintendo game DK Bonanza. I think my favorite experience of the year was Expedition. Just a beautiful game for so many reasons, and like to see something like that with a turn-based combat system that feels fresh and exciting in a day and age where a lot of people are saying turn-based is dated and a thing of the past is really cool. It's just really, really cool.
Yeah. Excuse me. For me, I mean, I love Bonanza. I probably will love it more when I actually finish it. But right now, I'm having a really fun time with Age of Imprisonment. So I think that for me right now is my game of the year. Perfect. All right. Jump down to the next one here. Demonic Brawler. Happy New Year, everybody. Thoughts and prayers out for Nate and his family. Perfect.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Yeah. Pokemon fan. Prayers for Nate and his family. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
Free my Red Hat.
Wowza.
Yeah, right.
Hell yeah.
Steak gifted 5
All
Nintendo
right.
Prime memberships. And then Demonic Brawler coming with Bring Back NFL Blitz and NBA Jam and NHL Hits.
Hey, anything's possible in a
Right?
new year.
Right? Hey, that's one of my resolutions. Get that speak that into existence.
Seriously.
One with snowboard kids.
Trying
Why don't
hard.
we have a Mario hockey game? Like, why don't we have that? That was wild to me.
That
Yeah.
is pretty wild.
But also not football.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, backyard sports is coming back, so
Yep.
that'll be fun.
Wow.
That'll be cool.
Is that?
Yeah.
That's wild.
All right. Jorge FT, member for 3 months. Steak. What's everyone's far out there guess for an unannounced so far Nintendo game that will come out next year?
Far out there guess for an unannounced Nintendo game.
Yeah. Man.
I'm just gonna go out and say a brand new Star Fox that's kind of reinventing the series. That's going bigger and better. It's not an on rails shooter. It's going to be a grand adventure.
Mhm.
Space opera, fully voice acted.
That'd be
Ooh.
nice.
Interesting. Stash, you got one, or are you still thinking?
Zelda. Zelda.
Okay. Remake or new game?
I think remake.
I don't think that's too far out there, though. I will say, I think that's actually a solid. I think that's a solid guess. Prediction.
Should be.
Yeah. For me, I'm just happened to pop into my head. I don't know why, because I've never played any of them. But Kid Icarus, getting a new game of that.
That would be cool.
Would like to see that.
Yeah. So
I thought for sure Stash was going to say Wave Race.
right.
NSO, I expect it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be. It should hit in the summer, right? Blue Storm.
Now, are you a bigger Wave Race 64 fan or Blue Storm fan? Which one is
64.
your okay?
By far. Better soundtrack, better
but
handling,
not better water though.
but not better water. Yeah. GameCube's got the better graphics, but the control and soundtrack go to 64.
Yeah.
Yeah. So GameBird, you kind of brought this up, so I'll jump to this one here real quick. Steak coming in with Metroid Prime 4 equals 18-year wait, 3D DK equals 26-year wait. What's the next dormant IP they are going to bring, and is it Star Fox?
I think Steak probably knew I would pick Star Fox, is what I'm
right.
guessing. I've mentioned it so many times. I fully believe that Star Fox is going to make a triumphant comeback on Switch too. I don't know what it is. It's just like there's no specific reason for it other than it's just a gut feeling I have that it's going to have a really epic return.
Yeah, I agree. I really think it could very well be Star Fox for the next majorly dormant IP.
I'm gonna say Earthbound.
Woo! I love that.
That was another one that was I was thinking.
Yeah, they made such a deal out of bringing Earthbound Beginnings and Earthbound to NSO, and obviously Earthbound Beginnings is Mother in Japan, which was never here previously. So I don't. Mother 3. That's a great way to increase subscription for NSO. But it's been dormant for so long. And if you just look at Earthbound, that was the last major retail release with an actual SKU. That was in 1995. Or was it 94? And outside of that, it's just odd. You've been in or not everyone, but almost all the Smash Brothers games. I think you got to bring Mother 3 over. I really do.
Yeah. Looks like June 5th of 95. Yeah. August 27th of 94 in Japan.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah. I think you got to bring that over. I think you got to get these out. Look, there's too many games that are inspired by Earthbound. Right? Just like there's so many games that are inspired by Metroid and Castlevania. And so much so that there's a Metroidvania genre now. Like you got to come back and take what's yours, Like there's so many companies today that have been inspired by Earthbound, and then they went out and made games, right?
Yep.
Undertale, Deltarune, there's so many. And the same goes for that, for Metroid and Castlevania. Like go get it. You went out and did it with Dread. Konami, you're up.
Yeah, we're due for something Castlevania. I'd really like I think it would be cool if Nintendo brought Mother 3 to the States. In the same way that they brought was it Live Alive? Is that how you say it? Is it Live Alive? Yeah, which was Japan only.
Live Alive. I've heard it all.
Right. that game. That game. They brought it back to the States, but they brought it back with the HD 2D. It would be really cool to see like Mother 3 get. I
Mhm.
mean, obviously it's like just getting the game would be a special treat, but because it's been such a painstakingly long process, and this is a special game that fans have been begging for so long, to see it get a little bit of a special treatment where they're like, we're bringing it back, but not only that, we're bringing it back in with HD 2D and really juicing it up.
Yeah, why don't they work with Square Enix to do that?
That'd be awesome.
I mean, they just worked together on Super Mario RPG.
Yeah.
I do think we're going to get a Super Mario RPG too. But I've already said that several times. That's not a new prediction.
You know what needs an HD 2D remake?
Chrono?
Huh.
Paperboy.
Oh.
Paperboy.
Just because.
It's so funny though. Like kids today, they'd be like, "What's a Paperboy?
What's Paperboy?" Yeah. God.
What is this?"
Yeah. Hard as hell game. That's what it is.
Very hard.
All right. Steak with a gifted GameBird Classic membership.
Hell yeah, brother. Thank you.
And also a ThunderStash membership.
Thank you.
All right. Jorge. Wishing you all a fruitful 2026. It'll be a fun time with new upcoming games. Do you think that Nintendo should release a potential Switch 2 Lite sooner or later?
Yes, I do. I think you get the Switch 2 Lite out first, and then down the road you can do some stuff with the screen, whatever makes sense, you know, whether it be OLED or what. But yeah, I think you get the Lite out because that will grow the install base, and that's what you need to do right now. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, go ahead. Go ahead, Bird. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, screw the Switch 2 Lite. Give me the Switch 2 Pocket. Let's do a little throwback. Switch 2 Pocket.
That'd be cool.
That'd be super cool.
Get a Switch 2 SP. Clamshell.
Right.
Clamshell.
Dude, that would be insane.
Right.
That'd be the best way to play.
It would
Great.
It would be the best way. Then bring
that
all
would
the
get people to
DS.
double dip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say probably 2027 for Switch Lite or Switch 2 Lite, I should say. And I mean, I'm guessing they're going to follow somewhat similar to the Switch model, you know, how they released that, maybe a little bit slightly moved up because, you know, we kind of know what's coming, quote unquote, know what's coming next. You know, a Switch Lite or Switch 2 Lite and probably a Switch 2 OLED, maybe a Switch 2 Pro. Hopefully that doesn't drag out like the Switch 1 Pro did.
Yeah, I know. Well, as long as we don't have another pandemic.
Yeah, right. I'm just thinking for some 2027 feels about right for a Switch 2 Lite to me.
Well, plus we got to factor in, I do think we should get something next year, like some sort of special Switch 2 for Zelda. So that'll be, you know, a different model there.
Give me those golden Joy-Cons or golden Pro controller, please.
Still want that Metroid one that was mocked up. That guy did such a good job with the mock-up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Demonic Brawler. Here's my wild card prediction for 2026. Konami makes an official announcement of 2 new Castlevania games. First, an all-new 2D adventure, but the second, a 3D reboot of the series, both coming to Switch to day one.
So I will say this in my video. I've already recorded my video. I'm in the editing stage, but I do have a segment carved out to discuss Castlevania. I don't want to say what I say.
Oh, right.
Tune in for that. But I like where you're going, Demonic Brawler.
I'll say this. I am all in on new 2D Castlevania. We are way, way overdue for that. Konami has really surprised me when they decided to make a new entrance back into video games and kind of leave the pachinko machines to the wayside. I was very skeptical. I'll be honest. I was like, I don't know if Konami still got it after some of the blunders of the past. And they have really surprised me. They've killed it on the collection side. They've killed it with how they've handled Silent Hill. They're doing a really great job. So I actually have a lot of confidence in them with the new 2D Castlevania. As far as a 3D version of the game, I don't know if we'll get that or if we did, what we'll get. But I'll tell you what I'd like to see. I would love to see a collaboration with From Software and Miyazaki, where Konami is the publisher and has FromSoft develop their version of a Castlevania, because I think they'd crush. I think I think with From Software's interconnected Metroidvania style level design, I'm not talking Elden Ring. Like, I'm not talking big open world. I'm talking, let's go back to like the Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 style and Bloodborne style. I just think From Software would crush. So both thematically and gameplay wise.
I agree.
That's actually a pretty good idea. I like it. AJ Rax. I keep looking at the store. Member for 3 months. I keep looking at the store, and I'm waiting for is Dragon Quest 7, Resident Evil 9, Mario Tennis Fever, and Switch 2 Wonder Edition.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, you won't have to wait long, and Dragon Quest 7 is going to be here soon. Hey, look, if you're going to be playing Dragon Quest 7, you should be playing Final Fantasy 7 as well.
Yeah.
If you haven't played that, I'm guessing you have, and that's why it's not on this list. But if you haven't, you need to play that, and that comes out on the 22nd. But yeah, it's gonna be busy. Dragon Quest 7 February, Mario Tennis following week, and then 2 weeks after that, Resident Evil 7, 8, 9.
Hell yeah.
And I don't think we have
That's
a
a
firm date on Wonder, right?
No, we're
No.
still
That was-
left
that was
wondering.
spring. Yeah.
It's
We're still
spring.
wondering.
I think it's gonna line up though with the movie.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Good.
Sorry, Gamer. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say regarding Dragon Quest, that game looks so good that my buddy, who's never been interested in Dragon Quest ever, he's just like, I don't care about. He loves RPGs, he loves Final Fantasy. He's just never had an interest in Dragon Quest. He was so impressed by that 7 trailer that he picked up and played through all 3 of the Dragon Quest remakes that came out, the HD 2D remakes.
Oh, how
1,
did he
2,
like
and 3.
them?
Loved them.
See,
Loved them.
it's so good, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's someone who's never played them, was inspired to, and then it actually delivered, right? He loved the
Yep.
games.
It delivered, and now one of his big early year hyped games is Dragon Quest 7. I
Yeah.
mean, it's Stash, you already covered it. The art style's wild. It's so cool. I love it so much. So
Yeah, and it's going to be a long game. Like, we're all going to get our money's worth. If
hell yeah.
if that's how you look at games, if that's one of the things you factor in is the length, it's going to win out there for sure.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Steak. When will the next Wave Race be released, and how amazing will the water graphics be?
Well, I'm going to say that the next Wave Race is going to hit GameCube NSO for the summer. They should also release Mario Sunshine in the summer. Those should be your 2 summer games that hit GameCube NSO this summer. Makes sense. That's a great way to kick off the first full year of GameCube NSO and hit that theme, right? If you want to continue to hit that theme hard, you you release Eternal Darkness in October for the Halloween game.
Hell yeah.
You know, there's a way you can do this stuff that would really make a lot of sense, obviously. So that's look, we get an improved resolution on the GameCube NSO, which means the water graphics will look better than they did originally, even if it's by a little bit. But man, I don't know if we're ever going to get a new Wave Race. Like, again, I have to be realistic about my wants, right? I mean, come on. We can't hold our breath for a new Wave Race. It'd be like holding your breath for a new Earthbound. But it's also something I would never close the door on because, I mean, you got to have hope. Without hope, man, there's no reason to wake up.
Mhm.
So I'd love to see it, man. I just, what sucks is I hope they don't tie the idea of a new Wave Race to the popularity of jet skiing. Because in the 90s, it was very
Yeah, it was
popular.
big.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's still fun today. It's just as fun. We have lakes. I owned jet skis just a few years ago, and because I live close to a lake, and I love jet skiing. I love Wave Race.
Yeah.
But if they tie it to that, we're not getting one,
Yeah.
which sucks. So I really hope they're not tying it to that because I don't think you have to. Enough people love Wave Race.
You know what they need to do? I'm telling you, they need to do this. I think this would be so cool. I know, Stash, you'd love this. And I don't necessarily know that it would generate hype for it, but I think it's the nice little treat that Wave Race fans deserve at the very least. We got an Excitebike course that pays amazing homage to Excitebike in
I
Mario
would
Kart 8
appreciate that.
Deluxe. Imagine we have jet skis now. There's like the jet ski carts now with all the water mechanics
We
in
talked
Mario
about
Kart
that
World.
too.
Yeah. Give us a jet ski course with the music from Wave Race. Literally have the announcer's voice in there. Make it a Wave Race course.
You gave us an F-Zero course too.
Yeah.
So you totally should.
Yeah, it makes way too much sense. And like, I don't know. I gotta feel like Nintendo pays attention when a course drops that like really resonates with fans. I think they did a really good job with the jet ski stuff in Mario Kart World. The physics with like going over the waves and stuff. If they designed an entire course around that, oh man, that would be so cool. I just think there would be a lot of really positive feedback regarding that.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot. I think there'd be tons, man.
And then you can almost gauge, the interest in it just to see how, people react to that level. Would there be interest in a Wave Race or something like that?
They have stats on that too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Nintendo can see how many times that course was selected when playing online.
Yep.
And if the numbers are crazy, right?
Mhm.
If it's very obvious that, okay, a lot of people really love this course, maybe we do a Wave Race, or hey, maybe we do a Wave Race 99. Make it NSO only. Because our most hardcore fans are the ones who own NSO. They're the ones who really want this anyways. Give it to them.
Yeah. Right.
F-Zero 99 is really fun.
All right. Demonic Brawler. This one's for Nate. Let's go streaking. So we nailed the streak on that one.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Demonic Brawler again. Who else wants to see an HD 2D remake of A Link to the Past?
Been asking for it.
Right?
Absolutely.
We've been asking for it. I think we
It
will.
It'll make a perfect game even more perfect.
Yeah, it's already perfect. And that art style is just aged so well.
Yeah.
I do think we're gonna get one.
Yeah.
I
hope
it's when, not if.
I really just want two things with that because like we said, it's kind of a perfect game. Just HD 2D and fully orchestrated. That's really all you need to do. The game is it's aged like fine wine. And don't change Link's hair. Keep it pink.
Please keep it pink.
It's classic. It's iconic.
The only thing I would want outside of what you just mentioned, because I want the orchestrated soundtrack, because again, I've already experienced that, right?
Yeah.
You're free to add more. You're free to add more to the game. More dungeons,
Yeah.
more towns. Any of that stuff, I'm all for it. Just don't take anything away from me.
Yep.
Right.
Including the pink hair.
I'm not gonna lie. It took me 2 or 3 times to read that to put together It's a Link to the Past. I'm like,
It's a pretty
what
gnarly.
the heck is this? Oh, just freaking clicked. I'm like, oh, that's what it is. But man, ALTTP. I'm like, what in the heck is this? Oh, that's what it is. So yeah, it took me way too long to figure that out. I'm kind of ashamed on that one. Demonic Brawler again. Add Road Rash trilogy for Sega Genesis and SO. Yeah.
Is that another IP that EA just sits on with NBA Jam and everything else?
God, yeah, right.
Killing me.
EA. Come on. Hide that one. Demonic Brawler again. 2026 is huge for anniversaries. The Legend of Zelda 40th, Metroid 40th, Kid Icarus 40th, Castlevania 40th, Sonic 35th, Pokemon 30th, and Animal Crossing 25th. That's insane.
Yeah.
Yep. It sure is.
I didn't realize how many like major milestone anniversaries are next year. That is absolutely insane.
And
It's
I'm
wild,
covering
man.
all of those.
Yeah.
In my video. I already recorded it. But all of that is being covered.
I mean, and that kind of lends to when I went back, when I said, Kid Icarus is coming back too. That kind of leads towards, with it being the 40th, I could see them maybe releasing a new Kid Icarus.
The thing that's sad about this to me is these are all major series that have had a major impact on the industry and have all been groundbreaking for different reasons. And the sad part is that more than one of these will be celebrated with only like a tweet. I think that's the sad.
Right.
And it sucks because we cover this stuff, and I think oftentimes we think of so many reasons why certain decisions would just print money and make so much sense. So I'm like, why leave money on the when there's such good opportunities? Like, I don't think they're really going to do anything special for Prime for the 40th, but if they did release a new Metroid Prime 4 bundle to celebrate the 40th that comes with I don't know, a themed Pro controller or something like that, like that's a great, people will buy the game just to get the accessory, just to get the cool accessory. I don't know. I know they're going to go huge with Zelda. Like, Zelda's the big one. What Sega does with Sonic, I'm not sure. Konami with Castlevania, I'm not sure. But as far as Nintendo goes, I don't expect them to do anything crazy for Kid Icarus or Metroid for that matter, unless we got a new side-scrolling Metroid tease or reveal or something like that. But yeah, that being said, crazy. It's I can't believe it's been that long, man.
Remember, it's also Dragon Quest 40th anniversary.
Oof.
Oh, yeah.
God,
which
makes me feel old.
is massive. Yeah, I know. Look, I hate to not say anything, but my answer to this will be in my video because
For sure.
Oh, I absolutely
I've covered it. But yeah,
Bird,
Keep an
I
eye on that
agree.
stuff.
I agree. They're gonna go ham on Legend of Zelda, and the Pokemon company's gonna go ham on Pokemon. Sonic I mean, Sega's got to go hard with Sonic.
Is there a
I hope
Sonic
so.
movie coming out in 2026?
What was that?
I know
No.
a sequel was confirmed.
It's
but
2027.
yeah.
Hmm.
Gotcha.
But it
Give
won't
us
surprise
Sonic
me.
Adventure 3, please.
Animal Crossing Celebration is just going to be the Switch 2 patch that has all that new content as well, like that big patch.
Probably.
And they'll probably do some like maybe special like decorations and stuff for the anniversary. I don't know. I'm excited to watch Stash's video.
Yeah.
Are you covering all of these, Stash? Are you doing like every anniversary, including Dragon Quest, or are you just doing the Nintendo ones?
No, I'm doing it, including, I already did it, yeah. Including
Awesome.
Dragon Quest and
Yeah,
Castlevania. Yep, all that. Yep.
All right, on to the next one here. Demonic Brawler. To all the haters and doubters, just a reminder, God of War 2018 is a PS4 game. The potential of Switch 2 going forward will be impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Games only get better looking as the generation goes on. Devs get more comfortable with the hardware. We see this every generation.
I was going to say devs actually get the hardware.
Yeah, for sure. God of War is just one example. Last of Us 2 was gorgeous. And Ghost of Tsushima, I think one of the best looking games of that generation. I think Ghost of Tsushima looked better than almost everything in the first year of PS5, to put into perspective.
Yeah. A lot of absolutely beautiful games. Uncharted as
Yeah.
well on PS4.
That's right.
Yeah, there's so many absolutely breathtaking games on PS4. So totally agree.
The original Radical Jimzo upcoming direct because of Nintendo silence. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Absolutely. Thumbs up.
Yeah. So Jimzo mentioned earlier in chat that Nintendo hasn't posted anything on their YouTube in 7 days. And now some of us might say, yeah, well, it's probably because it's Christmas. People are off work. However, as a content creator, we all know that you can schedule your videos, which I do, especially when I know I'm going to be out of town. Like when we went to PAX, I had 2 videos that I prepared ahead of time, so I still have content hitting my channel. And I think that was The Adventures of Elliot and something else that I had hit the channel. I forget what the other one was, but point is that that's not the excuse, because you can just schedule the content.
Right.
And that's likely what they do anyways. They don't just like make a video and upload it. Everything's scheduled. Everything has to be approved first before it's even scheduled to Nintendo's account. So the fact that they have been silent for 7 days actually is significant.
Well, that, and you got to coordinate it all with, Australia, Japan. You got to coordinate it all. So of course they're going to be scheduled because you want them releasing all at the exact same time. So I mean, to just randomly upload and go public right away, you'd be having one region go, a minute or two before another region.
It's interesting because in 2 days it's Zelda's 40th. How soon are you gonna hit it?
Right?
Yeah. Well, even ignoring the silence, like let's just look at the company patterns. Like traditionally, we get a direct January or February. We get an early year direct yearly. So I think it's a safe bet that before the end of February, we will have seen the first big direct of the year.
Yeah, I totally
It
agree.
just makes sense.
Does.
Demonic Brawler, Bradley the Badger for Switch 2.
Oh man, that game looked sick, dude. I am so excited for Bradley the Badger.
Yeah. Look, so right now it's only scheduled to come to PC. Obviously that's going to change.
Interesting.
This is a console game. We all know that. It's coming to PC first, or as of right now. This this game's not coming out in 2026. It's not in my video for a reason. A lot of things can change between now and then. But yeah, I think that was everyone's takeaway, right? Was like PC only. But at the same time, like, that's not going to stick.
Yeah.
There's no way.
That's the only one that they have 100% ready. That does not mean that they're not working on other things.
Yeah.
Or closer to 100% ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It'll get once that one's finished, it'll be just a little bit before they port it that everything else. Just have that feeling. Hell, I didn't even know about that game. It looks awesome.
Oh, are you just watching the trailer?
No, I will here after the podcast, but I just looked at some images of it, and man,
yeah, it looks awesome. And once you watch it, I'm sure you'll see that this looks like a console game.
Yeah, it to me, just by the looks of it, it feels like almost like an old Rare game.
It does. And Grant Kirkhope is doing the music on it. So yeah,
yep.
Yeah.
All right, Pokemon fan with a member for 3 months. I'm guessing on Bird's channel because caw.
Hell yeah! Thank you, dude.
AJ Rex. Wait, you guys aren't employed by Nintendo? I'm shocked. Well, not that shocked. Everyone, man, you guys are Nintendo. Chills and stuff like that. No, dude, it'd be great, but at the same point in time, that would definitely call into question our what the hell is the word I'm looking for? Our authenticity.
Yeah, I know what word you're thinking.
Yeah. I just can't think of it right now.
Okay, me either.
But yeah. AJRX, Castlevania Symphony of the Night to Switch 2.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I would be really happy with that. I would really want a physical release as well if they did that.
Let's just get PS1 on NSO.
That'd be sick.
Right?
Dude, how sick would that be?
It feels like that's the only way we're going to get Symphony of the Night.
Right.
Because of, all the history with it. With the losing the code for it. And then Sony commissioning Konami to rebuild the game from scratch in order to release it as the Requiem collection on PS4.
That's insane.
That's why it's not on Nintendo. Like, Sony paid to have this done. So that's insane. That's why we don't have it. It sucks. It would be perfect on Switch.
All right, AJ Rex, Wii Sports Switch 2 edition. It would work.
Was the Switch Sports missing games from Wii Sports?
Did it have bowling?
I'm not sure. I feel like it was missing a game though.
Yeah, I don't know if it had bowling.
I mean, bowling was the biggest hit on Wii Sports. Everybody loved bowling.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm looking at trying to figure out what sports were all in it. Nintendo Switch Sports. Okay, tennis, bowling, volleyball, badminton, soccer, and Cambria. They later added golf and basketball.
Yeah.
So they didn't have golf at launch and baseball. It still doesn't have baseball.
Basketball. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have baseball.
And no boxing.
And no boxing.
That's right.
Yeah, you're right.
Interesting. Boxing was whatever. I mean, it was pretty neat. Bowling and golf were my two favorites, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Daniel Lamarza, What's your favorite ball and gun game?
What's a ball and gun game?
Ball and gun.
I don't know if it's supposed to be a comma in there. Like
Run
your
and
favorite
gun?
ball?
Ball. Okay, ball. My favorite ball game, NBA Jam. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Easily. My favorite gun game. I don't know. GoldenEye 007. Red Dead Redemption. Those are probably some of my favorite games that involve guns, actually.
Mhm.
I mean, I think that answers the question.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if that's the question.
Right. I'm not sure if that's the actual question or not, but
Dude, this is one of the toughest questions I've been asked. Like gaming related. First off, there's so many great ball games. I mean, Stash already mentioned NBA Jam. That's probably my favorite ball game. But I also like Blitzball. I don't know if that counts from Final Fantasy X.
yeah.
Final Fantasy,
I love Blitzball. I was that weird
Steven in
kid
chat
that
mentioned
loved
Monkey Ball.
Monkey Ball. Love Monkey Ball. Love Monkey Ball. I was the weird kid who really liked Sonic Spinball. I know it wasn't popular, but
I liked it too.
really liked it. Yeah, I like ball games. I like ball games. What can I say? Gun games now, that's where things get tougher. Because I'm not the biggest first-person shooter player, but I do like. There are some that I like. Red Dead, obviously, the first Red Dead's one of my favorites.
Yep.
Man, how do I pick a favorite? GoldenEye, you mentioned, is really good. The Splatoon games for competitive shooters is really fun. Borderlands, if you like the kind of like the looter shooter, the Borderlands 2 specifically, I think was fantastic. I don't know. I got to think on the gun one more and the ball one, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a hard one. And what's your favorite ball and gun game, Eric?
Yeah. I'm in between NFL Blitz from the 64 and Super Mario Strikers. I believe the first one was GameCube, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Not the second one. Not this last one. The first one.
Yeah, the GameCube one's where it's at.
Yeah. That one was just perfect game.
Yeah.
And then as for gun game, I'm gonna go ahead and
I just had a revelation. I'm sorry. I know what my
good.
favorite ball and gun game is. This is the easiest question ever.
Yeah.
Metroid. Super Metroid.
Oh yeah, duh.
Morph ball
Morph ball and gun.
and the arm cannon. That's my favorite ball and gun game. Super Metroid.
I know
That
Tall
is a
Show's
great answer. Yep.
Drag X Drive. You ball while you're gunning it up and down the court. Right. As for the gun game, I'm gonna pull out an oldie but goodie with Hogan's Alley.
Yeah.
That one was definitely a crazy game way back in the day.
Yeah, it was. And it was in Back to the Future Part 2.
Oh shit. That's right.
Yeah. Elijah Wood was playing the game.
That's right.
That's awesome.
It's been a while since I've seen that
Classic.
movie.
Yeah.
What about we talked, this was mentioned in the vlog, Gunstar Heroes, one of my favorite gun games.
Yeah. That's a great one. Treasure.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. We got one more coming in. Dylan Milton. Early prediction for 2026 holiday title. Ooh.
Well, we've talked about it. It's one or the other.
Zelda or Mario.
Yeah.
What's it gonna be?
Yeah.
The ball's in Nintendo's court, but the timing lines up for one of those to drop. There's no wrong answer from Nintendo. You drop either of those, and it's
When When is the
I don't
movie?
think the games that we know about are going to fall to the holiday title. Like, I don't think the
Yeah.
Duskbloods is going to be a holiday title, for example. I think the games we know about are the ones that are going to be hitting first. Nintendo's been pretty good about this, right? About announcing games that are coming first and not games that are way out in the future.
Mm,
And so I think the ones we know about are the ones that are hitting first. I don't think we know, like, I don't think the big holiday title has been announced yet. So, yeah, right. What could carry a holiday? Now, are we excluding Pokemon? Because
I mean,
I think we expect Gen 10, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
there's that. I
We
mean,
know that can carry a holiday.
I'm wondering if the big game coming out of the January February direct is going to be a Mario either remake or some sort of anniversary something, just for the movie, tie it closer to the movie, and then Zelda remake coming at the end of the year for the holiday. It just, and then to power up more towards the 2027 movie with Zelda. If it, to me, that feels kind of like a little bit more of the what makes sense for the timelines in between, both the movie and the games itself.
I think so too. Like, I can see the marketing runway
Mhm.
and having Zelda come out around the holidays. You get the holiday sales, and then when the movie comes out, you get basically the holiday sales again, most likely. Like, you're gonna get a bump that big in sales when the movie comes out.
Mhm.
And then I think for Mario, though, I think we got Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition is what they're gonna really push
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Uh
true.
I do feel like it's more likely Zelda.
That was kind of where I was thinking too.
I agree.
Yeah, now that you said Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition, I think that's probably going to come out right around the movie with April.
That could be the new bundle.
What?
Wonder
Or
for the movie to tie in with the movie.
I see what you're
The
saying.
new
Yep,
Switch
that
2
replaces
bundle,
the-
because the Mario Kart one is expiring.
that replaces that one.
Well,
Could
I mean, you got to factor this in too, though. We've seen some of the promotional, the marketing items,
sure.
like the Old Spice, deodorant, the Mario Galaxy deodorant. I mean, you have the perfect packing game right now
Yeah, Galaxy.
with Galaxy 1 Plus 2, and it runs better on Switch too.
Yeah, and then that actually fits the movie.
Yeah, you have the movie tie-in right now.
But I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that they do a Wonder pack and then maybe somehow bring a Wonder Flower into the movie. Just kind of as a pre-tease, but nobody will know until all of a sudden the movie shows up.
Yeah, and we're supposed to be getting that flower, the one you can actually buy here soon. I'm guessing when the Switch 2 edition and the movie comes out, that'll all tie in. Nintendo could also do a Mario bundle where you get to choose which one you want, and it's a download code.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like they did that in the past on the 3DS. I can't remember what it was for, and I might be completely wrong, but I feel like there was an option in the past.
GameBird, were you going to say something before? Or?
No.
I just didn't know if he had cut you off.
Oh, no.
Perfect. All right. Well, that's it for the super chats. So I guess we can jump into our outros. GameBird, do you want to go ahead and let people know who you are and where to find you, what's going on?
Absolutely. First off, guys, Happy New Year to everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. What a freaking year it's been. So happy to be here, make friends with Eric, Nate, and ThunderStash. man, 2026 is going to kick ass, guys. I've got a really good feeling about the podcast, about Nintendo, about gaming in general. So let's get things going. And you guys know where to find me here on YouTube at GameBird Classic or on Twitter at _Birdmaster. I've got 2 reviews that I'm currently working on, as well as 2 skits that I'm working on and some brand new discussion videos to get the year started. Stay tuned, exciting stuff. And again, Happy New Year, everyone. I cannot wait to see what comes next.
Heck yeah. ThunderStash.
Yeah. So you guys know, find me at ThunderStash Gaming. And again, I'm working on my 2026 most anticipated games. And, you know, these aren't going to be the games that are on everybody's list. I guarantee you that. You know, when it comes to finding games, I kind of look at it like scouting. Like if you're a sports scout, that's kind of what I do. I try to find games that people don't know about, that look awesome, and that could use a platform, right? They could use someone covering it, someone to uncover this hidden gem, right? There's going to be a lot of games like that in this video, but there's also going to be the big games because they're big games for a reason and you're going to want to play them, right? It's after making this list, like again, the list is done. I already recorded on camera. I finished grabbing all of the gameplay, all the B-roll footage today. Now I have to, after this, put it into my Photoshop Premiere, render it, then go to sleep. That way when I go to edit it, it's going to be easy. Not dealing with freezing frames. But just going through that, I'm like, oh my God. Like 2025 was the biggest year for gaming. I would say that lightly, but it was absolutely nuts. But just making this list, I'm like, I think 2026 is going to beat it. Because I made this, I don't want to say how big the video is, but I made this list. And I could have made it bigger and I didn't. And we also don't know like most of what's coming, I guess you could say. Like, I don't know what the percentage is, but you guys better gear up. You better gear up. We all better save up. There's going to be a lot coming. That's what I'm working on. I'm working on that, and I'm working on my, right after that's done, I got to wrap up my editing for the video for the event that I went to that I can't speak about. But that video will hit on January 5th. I can tell you that. That's when the embargo's up.
Perfect. All right. We had one more member chat come in. Fisherman Mike, bring back Mario Super Sluggers. I'm game for that.
It's been a while.
Well, you would think it's going to hit GameCube NSO or the Mario Baseball. Super Sluggers was Wii, right?
I'm not sure. I only played Mario Baseball.
I just think Mario Baseball too.
Super Sluggers was platform, was Wii and Wii U. So yeah, Wii.
Okay. Well, I think we'll get the Mario Baseball game on GameCube.
Yeah.
Which will be nice.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, that'd be freaking great. So I'll run an outro for Nate. As you guys know, he's out with his son in the hospital. Again, if you'd like to donate, no pressure. There are links in, I believe, everybody's chat or everybody's description, I should say, to help with costs for, Aiden's recovery and things like that. Yeah, hopefully they're home this weekend and we can kind of start going towards normal and and everything turns around. So,
Absolutely.
as for that, I'm Eric Mohr. You can find me here and on the Eclipse channel. You can find this podcast pretty much anywhere podcast can be heard. I'll be downloading and uploading the audio version here after the show. So, everything will be caught up that way. So Nate doesn't have to worry about that. Yeah, I think that's pretty well it. Anybody else got anything?
No, I'll see you next year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, see y'all next year.
I will say our podcast will be going back to Wednesdays. It was just a two off because of the holidays that we pushed it back to Tuesdays. So we'll be back on Wednesdays, normal time. I wanted to throw that out there because I know there was some questions at the beginning about why we had 2 Tuesdays in a row. I forgot to address it at the beginning. I'll address it now. We'll be back next Wednesday. So, I'll talk to you guys later.